Previously on the Bubba the Love Sponge.
Last day of June, 2026. We got to get those clicks in sooner. I know we argue about it all, pretty much all prep show long.
Yeah.
Just because we're so over the Trump-Iran war. And we go to it's trending, and unfortunately that's all that's trending because it's all everybody wants to talk about. And as much as we don't want to talk about it, it's trending. And if we put a click up there, it's not trending. It could not do as well. So we want to do it's trending, but unfortunately, the entire world's talking about this at all times.
We go to bed, and it's one thing about Iran, which is not that big. So we go maybe in a different direction. We wake up in the morning at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and something totally different now. And Iran, and our clique is Bubba is annoyed with the Iran war, and I am. Just last night, it changed yet again. Where, there's all this uncertainty, and the ceasefire is no longer a ceasefire, and it's just You got both sides that just want to argue with you if you're asking questions about what's going on. Oh, just let it happen. Let it happen. No, it's going great. It's going great.
It takes time. It takes time. Well, we didn't get into this with anybody telling us it was going to take a bunch of time. When I think we started Epic Fury, it was, I think just the words in itself, Epic Fury, means it's going to be quickly. Does it not? A fury is not something that lasts for a long time. Like when they go, he's got a flurry of punches. That means he's got
Whoa. You're confusing flurry and fury. It's Epic Fury, which is anger.
Yeah,
it's massive anger.
I thought it was Epic Flurry.
No, Flurry is a quickie.
Okay, then I was right in my wrong description.
Your reasoning was right, but your word was wrong.
Right, but still.
But I remember you bitching about Iraq and Afghanistan for 13 years straight every day.
Not really.
I know.
I was kind of over it. I did not because our president wasn't having negotiations every day with Afghanistan. We kind of knew what we had. We knew that nobody promised us that it was going to be quick and efficient. Afghanistan was far more equipped to fight us back. I think you would even.
Well, you're talking about an offshoot army of the Northern Alliance, which had nothing, and the Taliban, which weren't government funded.
Didn't have a waterway that controls 80% of the oil that they can choke down. They didn't have anything but land all around them, and they didn't strategically have a waterway that they can use to try to hold over our head. And, that's one of, I know you would probably admit that that's one of the major sticking issues is the fact that they can somewhat put a wrinkle into the Strait of Hormuz. Now Afghanistan just had a bunch of land around it, and and whatever. We had to deal with that, but nobody ever came on. Whatever presidents went through the Afghanistan deal, which I think were like 2 or 3. There wasn't constant updates that we had a ceasefire with Afghanistan. Oh, no, we don't have a ceasefire. Yeah, we do. No, you don't. Yeah, we do. No, we don't. And you didn't have the Afghani leaders getting on and propagandizing the whole damn thing. It just was what it was. It went 10 years too long, absolutely, and we left all of our stuff over there for them to have. There were so many things wrong with that, but that's on somebody else's tab. That's not on the current guy's tab. He had nothing to do with Afghanistan, other than I think he might have been the guy that finally pulled us out of there. Or it might have been Biden. It might have been Barack that pulled us out of there. But I think Afghanistan.
Biden pulled us out of there, Bubba. Yeah. And Trump was trying to set it up, and then Biden kind of pulled the trigger a little prematurely, without really getting a real clearly defined exit plan. But that Afghanistan was 4 presidents. It was Bush.
It was way different.
5 presidents.
It was way different than what we're doing now. It was, it was just way different. We didn't really expect a resolve. I don't think had a lot to do with the gas prices of today. It didn't give big oil a chance to gouge us. I think that's happening as well. I don't think that can be necessarily put on the president. He's trying to look into big oil gouging us right now, which is I really like. But if he wasn't propping himself up, saying that we have a deal, we're really close to a deal, we're in the final stages of a deal, only for them to come back and say, no, we don't have a deal. And then they bomb, we bomb, Israel bombs, they bomb, we bomb, Israel bombs. I'm over it. Not only am I over it by just an average rolling around, not even a content provider kind of guy, I'm just over it as an American. I'm over it. I think everybody's pretty much over it.
Yeah.
And we just want it to be over. That's it. And including, but not limited to, using whatever force is needed. Like, whatever we need to do, I think we need to do. Because what we're doing now ain't working. All they're doing now is using our words against us. It's just wordsmithing at this point. We need to just be done with it. I don't
imagine how difficult they'd be, though, to negotiate with if they actually had a nuclear weapon. They're complete dicks, and all they have is a little strait where they can set speedboats out and try to drop mines or send drones.
So we have two issues here. Let's handle them both. We have the capabilities. We have the capabilities to absolutely take over the strait. We have the capabilities to absolutely bunker bust the remaining portion of the enriched uranium that we didn't get a year ago when we bunker busted them. I know they didn't move their facility in that time, so it's still there. We just didn't go deep enough and go get them off. Or maybe we did get them all and they're just lying to us. But let's say
they?
Iran.
I trust them.
Iraq. They're
Iran.
Iran. Maybe we did get them a year ago when we sent the B-52 bombers on a 30-hour mission and we bombed the ever-living hell out of their nuclear facility. Maybe we did get it all, and they're just telling us we didn't. But I think we at least need to get some closure on that. If we didn't get them all, let's go get them all. We've already started that process, right?
Yep.
We already, outside of us being in a war with them, we went and tried to get other bunker busters. It looks like we may not have gotten them all because that's whatever remaining portion of uranium they have is there. I don't think they could have relocated it. It's very, very labor intensive to,
Well, plus Trump said that he's like, we got the satellite sitting there. If anyone even enters it, they'll just blow them up.
So let's just blow it up.
Yeah.
Let's just blow up the rest of what we didn't blow up. So that's just basically finalizing something we didn't get done a year ago. And then let's secure the strait. That's it. Be done with it.
You don't think the strait's secured? I mean,
do.
There's boats going back and forth now.
I do, but you see these little dust-ups where they're bombing a couple ships here and there. They're really not doing a lot of damage, but they're still actively trying to send their little 31-foot Donzies over there with 2 machine guns and cause some problems. When realistically, we could take that little 31-foot Donzie out with just one little, So let's throw a couple little out there. Take the remaining 18 cigarette boats they have left as a Navy out. Take that out. At that point, the only casualty is going to be, a lot of those are drone driven, so a lot of it's going to be not even a casualty where some soldier's dying, but if some soldier is dying, well, it's his fault for being on that little boat. Let's take all that out, and then let's go and finish up the bunker buster job that we started a year ago, and we're done. It's a 2-part series. Then we call the Supreme Leader or the President or the head of the IRG and say, listen, what are you guys going to do now? You guys are in no position to be dicks. We're going to continue to monitor your nuclear facilities. We've bombed them to oblivion. Whatever we didn't get done a year ago, we now do have done. We've secured the Strait of Hormuz. You will not have anything to do with that. Well, there really is not really a lot to negotiate. You're going to have to take it or leave it. If you leave it, well, then we're going to really continue to occupy the strait, and we'll charge tolls to go through there.
Couldn't we, maybe this is dumb, but couldn't we get the Coast Guard, our Coast Guard with their little cutters, their little boats, their machine gun boats, and literally just be patrolling back and forth in the international waters where the ships are going? So when they do send out their little Donzies, we can shoot those away. And if they do the drones, we have our Navy that will shoot down the drones, but at least then we have smaller artillery.
You make a great point in the fact that we got, Dan, we already got stuff. Like a lot of the cost is getting them over there. Well, we already got people over there.
Got a lot of hardware over there.
Yeah, a lot.
Absolutely. It took a couple months. Like we have more there now than we did 2 months ago.
Right. So we got all the ships,
all the infrastructure,
everything that we need over there.
Yes.
The only thing we don't probably need, and we never will need, because if we get to that point, it's going to be all hell breaks loose. We don't have infantrymen to do boots on the ground. We don't have that, and we don't really want that. We can fight all this from the air, so to speak. But everything with regards to what we need, air strikes, destroyers, aircraft carriers, frigates, Coast Guard, mid-sized boats, big boats, small boats, we got it all. Mm-hmm. And so, that's half of the infrastructure is getting it all over there. So now it's all over there. They're just over there floating, not doing much. Let's start getting a little bit more active, because the more active we become, the more we cripple them and the less negotiation power they have. But like today, I did not want to have a Trump-Iranian war clickbait. I did not. And our clickbait is Bubba is annoyed with the Iran war. I am. Because just when we think we're going to have a day reprieve of it, somebody shoots somebody bombs somebody, but then that makes the other person that got bombed have to go back and bomb them. And then they always say, well, it's a slippery slope as to whether the ceasefire is going to continue or not, and we're kind of back to square one.
So President Bubba is going to do what today?
President Bubba is going to call them up and say, tomorrow we're going to completely obliterate whatever uranium and nuclear missile sites that you have. We're going to absolutely take them out without certainty. If you're going to go ahead and put kids and children and women around these facilities thinking we're not going to bomb them, I'm going to go on record by saying we're going to bomb them tomorrow at noon, so to get everybody out of there. I'm going to use this against you as much as you're going to try to make me look like a war criminal because I'm bombing facilities that you've gathered large portions of women and children. Well, I'm going to one-up you by saying I'm giving you 24 hours to get that area clean of anybody that you don't want to die, because we're going to finish our bunker buster job from a year ago. That's one. Number two, we are going to, as of noon today or tomorrow, we're going to completely take over the Strait of Hormuz. We're going to send mine-sweeping boats. We're going to take out any mines that you have left. And the Strait of Hormuz is 100% open for business. And if you impede in that, we will whatever you decide your little missile is, we will completely obliterate anything with the Iranian flag on there that tries to be disruptive within the Strait of Hormuz. Now, after I do that, if you guys would like to sit down to the table and have some type of peace agreement, we can, but I'm doing those two things first, and then we can negotiate.
Well, the second thing, Bubba's already been done.
Nah.
We have all our ships there, and anytime they try to launch anything, we have a response. And so we have a plane in the air. We have a plane in the air, like one of those AWACS planes, monitoring everything.
But do you know why they continue to launch these little things? Because they have these little things.
Yep.
So we need to blow these little things to smithereens so they do not have them anymore. What are you going to send a couple guys out in paddle boards? No, we're not. We're going to completely take out whatever vessels you think you have to wreak some type of terroristic havoc on these big ass boats. They're little mosquito boats at best. I don't know if you guys got 10 of them or 100 of them, but as of tomorrow, you're going to have 0 of them. My intel shows me exactly where they're at, and we're going to blow them up. So don't have anybody on them tomorrow at noon, because every one of them is going to be blown up.
Yeah, and be like, hey, sorry about your fishing boats, because that's what they keep complaining, is that they need the fishing boats. I mean, how much Iran
Then you know what?
there?
Take your fishing boats, dry dock them. Do not have them confused with these little mosquito boats on there with machine guns, and we won't take out your fishing boats. Or if you happen to have fishing boats that got machine guns on them, take the machine guns off of them so they just look like fishing boats. Because any boat that's got a gun or anything that looks like it might be one of these little mosquito boats that's causing us a pain in the ass, we're taking out.
Well, you could also do, because we love spending money, just say, hey, the strait's closed to anything fishing boat wise until we get this solved, and here's $100,000. Go sit at home.
Whatever.
You know what I mean?
But if we took out their little mosquito boats and we took out their uranium, what is there left to argue about? That's the only two things they have left to hold over our head. That's it. So since they love to hold this over our head, even if we have a ceasefire agreement, then we just take out the two little things that they have left. We make sure we give them plenty of time to vacate the area, because we tell them there ain't going to be nothing left, my friends. We promise you that. And go ahead and try to ring me up on a war crime. I think I can prove that you guys are impossible to deal with, impossible to negotiate with, and I've given you ample time to remove any human lives from those two areas. We will not bomb any other areas than the two areas I tell you, whether you're keeping mosquito boats and where you're keeping the uranium. That's it. You know what? That's not even negotiable. That's what I'm doing tomorrow. And then, Dan, then it's a different ballgame when they come to us and say, well, we want to continue to monitor and police the Strait of Hormuz. With what? Paddle boats? Jet skis? What?
I agree, Bubba. I think that you're underestimating how badly they have been crippled there and how much control we do have over the strait. And there's been, 30, 40, 50 boats going through every day. So, I mean, the strait
should be 200 boats going through every day.
Well, some of the problem is that people are reluctant. The insurance companies are reluctant to insure the shipments.
So when you tell the insurance company, hey, they don't have any more mosquito boats to screw with your big oil tanker, they just don't. And for the next 60 to 90 days, all of your big boats that are carrying 3-4 million barrels of oil will be escorted by one of our destroyers. You get them in groups of like 5 or 6 where they're all kind of traveling together with one destroyer behind them and one destroyer ahead of them, and we go ahead and escort them through the strait to get the oil going again, so that China can get their oil and everybody else can get their oil. And I just think that it's really quite simple.
Do you know what's really interesting about this is that we're finally learning the lesson that Russia learned in Ukraine, and that is that drones can be a great equalizer against a big power.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can take a little pissant drone that costs $50,000 and devastate, a $1 billion item.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's because they have drones, and we need to take the drones down to zero.
Iggy McGillicuddy, $20.
Thank you, Iggy. Somebody sent this to me yesterday, Lummy, just to let you know how the countries, not just us, But like, there's a big problem in Great Britain. There's a big problem in France of all these illegal immigrants, and most of them Muslim, coming into the country, and then France and England kind of taking their sides, so to speak, and that we don't have a problem with immigration. And this shows France on the left side. It shows France from 100 years ago, and on the right side, it shows France modern day. France from 100 years ago. On the left, guy smoking a cig. And France.
Wearing a suit.
Wearing a
Charlie
suit.
Chaplin stash.
And France yesterday. But, you know, quite frankly, I think you could do that to about anywhere. You could probably do that for Chicago. You could probably do that for New York. You could probably do it for Great Britain. You could probably do it for about anywhere, right?
Yes.
Everything has changed to the ghetto side of thing, has it not? It's just
from South Beach to Paris. I mean, it's the evolution of an open society and of easy travel and of allowing a massive migration from Africa and the Middle East into Europe and America. And so the Crusades back 500 years ago were designed to check that migration. And now, because of suicidal empathy, we feel so badly for these people that we've given so much to that we let them in with open arms to our countries, and then they A, don't assimilate, B, act out, and C, hurt locals.
Yesterday, by the way, Lonnie, the Bubba podcasting table's officially sold.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Paper Towel Willie bought it.
He sure did.
Paper Towel Willie is going to be in this area in about the next 3 or 4 weeks, and he's going to bring his truck and load it up. He called me personally yesterday, said, "Hey, man, have you sold it?" I go, "No, I actually had one person look at it, local, but he was kind of wishy-washy." And Paper Towel Willie's like, "I'd like to buy it." So it's sold. I got to write that off my thing. Paper Towel Willie buys a podcasting table.
He's a good dude.
Sold. Oh, he's a really good dude. He's done so much for us, from buying our soundproofing to a lot of our flooring. He's just a really good dude.
Yes.
Love the guy. Thank you, Paper Towel Willie. And then, Dan, medically, something happened to me yesterday that has never happened to me in my entire life. And since you're my doctor, or one of my doctors, I thought maybe you should know about it. And I've come to now understand why it potentially happened.
Please tell me.
I passed 2 kidney stones in one day.
With
Now,
a little?
7 millimeters.
That's huge coming out of your penis.
Yeah, anything between 6 and 10 usually needs surgically removed. No, I didn't.
So is your penis wallowed out now that you can, like, pass these 7 millimeter stones?
Were they kind of back to back, or were they like an hour or two apart?
No, they were like, one was like at 10 a.m. and then one was like at 4.
Jesus. Do they hurt?
Oh my God, yes. And then after you pass them, you're just exhausted. It's like giving birth to a baby. You feel like your insides are kind of violated. And I think maybe your insides kind of are violated in the trek that they have to go through.
Like first night in jail kind of thing?
Kinda. And so, like, I've never. Now, here's the thing. I've passed 4 of them in the last 60 days. Which,
yeah, you talk about a vagina score, dude. Your penis score is getting high.
So
that's amazing that you can do that, dude. That's even though I'm partially jesting, but if your urethra has dilated that much, it's going to be less painful going forward passing these stones. Obviously, you're not hydrating well enough.
But Dan, I drink a lot of water.
Like alkalinized water.
Yes.
Got 4 more cases of the good water coming too.
Well, you can't get it here fast
It
enough.
should be here today or tomorrow.
I actually, Dan, started about, and I think one of the reasons why I might be passing them is I started this regimen of a half a teaspoon of baking soda in my first water of the morning. And supposedly, it kind of it resets your gut health, and then it also like gives you a better pH balance. Because I think the majority of my kidney stones are uric acid.
Right, so you alkalinize it, helps dissolve.
Well, yeah.
Break them up.
So usually
That's what I was asking about the alkalinized water.
So usually within the kidney stone world, I'll have one every 2 years. That's about what I average. A kidney stone every 2 years.
This is 3 in a month.
4.
4?
4. Now the first one happened when we were in the middle of a Saturday construction. Remember the very first Saturday we had to move the studios?
Yes.
Okay, so that was about maybe 60 to 90 days ago?
It's about 60 days. 60 days.
All right, so that was the first one. And that was big. That was 11 millimeters. And so the second one came about 2 weeks ago, and that was about 8 millimeters. And so yesterday, the first one came out. We were driving home from Fort Walton Beach, and anytime that I know, and just like, Dan, there's probably certain things that you know about your body, like just certain idiosyncrasies, things that happen that, okay, because this is happening, I'm experiencing this, or this is going to, like, we just all know our bodies.
Absolutely.
So when I got a kidney stone that's passed through all the pain part, and it's in my, what's the last bit of tubing that's in your penis? Your urethra?
Urethra.
Okay. So when it gets to my urethra, it instantaneously makes my penis feel like it's on fire. Like literally your penis is on fire. You start frequent urination, like your urination streams are like not very strong, even though if I take Flomax. So
is it like you have your thumb over your hose, or is it like the faucet's turned down? Like, is it like something like blocking it?
Yeah.
Or is it like just like the flow, just total?
Both. It's low flow and blocked. So Dan, here's what so I'm driving home from Fort Walton Beach, and I turned to Eric and I said, I'm getting a kidney stone. She goes like, how do you know? I go, because my penis is literally on fire right now. She's like, oh, well. So I knew, I think that's, Dan, when the stone is kind of like in that last little 2 or 3 inches of urethra.
Thra.
Yeah, I think that's when you start getting the burning sensation, because I think maybe your urine is kind of like irritating the inside of your penis. Does your urine have like acid or any kind of alkaline to it?
Urine is pretty neutral. It's got urea and uric acid in it, but it doesn't usually hurt. But your irritation from the stone is causing trauma to your urethra, which you don't want scarring on the backside. But that's also what's hurting. It's the dilation. Dilation hurts your urethra, and then obviously, direct trauma from a jagged stone would hurt it.
So I passed my first one yesterday right after the show, and I pinned to the rocks, Lummy, so I can't find it.
Oh man!
So so my second one, I happen to have to pee again, and I pee again, and I'm not in any way, shape, or form thinking I'm going to pass another one, because I've never passed one. The soonest I've ever passed one would be like 4 weeks after the one I just passed. Like there's always like a month period. I've never passed 2 in one day. So, Dan, do you think that was maybe a rock that broke up?
It could have been that, or it could have been 2 separate stones. You're just having, a big month.
Some people are saying that the baking soda, baking powders, you're going to start getting in a lot more.
Okay.
Just breaking them up.
Yeah.
That's good. But they don't know my body like me. And I can tell you what caused it.
What caused it?
Why I'm passing them.
What's your theory?
My 1 hour motorcycle ride.
Oh.
You think the vibrations?
Yes.
That's possible.
Because they say there's actually a study, and Lummy, you can look it up. They did a study in Orlando with people with kidney stones, and after they rode roller coasters all day, they were more likely to pass their stones than laying, not being active or just walking or working out or whatever you regularly do.
It was the roller coaster versus the no roller coaster.
Yes, and Lummy, you can look it up. There's a study on it. People that were susceptible to kidney stones or had known stones in their kidneys.
Research suggests that moderate intensity roller coaster rides help dislodge and pass small kidney stones.
Yes, damn, because you think about it. If you're in a roller coaster.
Yeah, several patients reported passing kidney stones after riding Disney's Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Am I right again?
Yeah, during a Michigan State University investigation.
So here I am, and some of the nonsense I spew out, people think that I'm just so stupid. I actually am somewhat well-read on some things, and I retain stuff, especially when it's involving me. So, Dan, if you think about it, there's nothing else you can be in that can emulate moving your body around like a roller coaster. If you're sitting there on a roller coaster with your legs suspended on the kind that they have the things that go over your shoulders and your body, think about, there's nothing else you can be in that would emulate your body being kind of thrown around like that, right?
No, it's very unique.
Right. So I have been on a motorcycle in 3 or 4 years, and just the constant vibration of the road, the turning, the acceleration, and again, you're literally as close to the road, and it's a constant kind of rumbling, if you will.
When you have sprint cars all the time, and they're constantly having high G's and vibrating and bouncing, and stuff like that.
Never had kidney stones. Never had them. I don't know if it was just breaking them up so much, because if you break them up so much, they'll turn into sand.
Right. You don't really notice it.
You don't really notice it. But, after I stopped racing, I started getting these larger kidney stones. And so Merch Crick actually said, she's like, I'm telling you right now, I bet you it was the motorcycle ride. And at first I dismiss it, but then I'm like, you're probably right. I've never passed 2 stones in one day. And it was, the motorcycle was an hour long, and it's an hour long of being, kind of vibrated. Think about, when you're on the road on a Harley, your body's kind of getting a constant vibration, so to speak.
Imagine your doctor's prescription isn't a pill, but a ticket to an amusement park, specifically for a ride on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. This sounds wild, but it's based on real patient reports. After riding that exact coaster, they'd pass a painful kidney stone. So, a team of researchers got curious. They built a 3D printed kidney, filled it with urine and real stones, and took it on 20 rides. They found the coaster's rattling, jarring turns and G-forces were just violent enough to shake small stones loose from the kidney's chambers. But there's a trick to it. Sitting in the front car only had a 17% success rate. The real magic was in the back.
Yeah, because Dan,
It's the whip.
You got the whip.
It's the whip. I always get in the back. It's so much more fun than front.
Because you get that much more of inertia whip.
Yes, because by the time that you're going down the hill, the front of the car is already accelerated. So you're flying, and then it's just like crack the whip. The last car gets the most intensity.
Yes.
Where the ride is roughest. There, the passage rate shot up to nearly 64%. The ideal coaster is...
Dan, if I would have told you earlier that riding a roller coaster makes you pass kidney stones, you would have said, there's no report in the world, there's no doctors in the world that would ever put together some obscure report. And look, they did. They actually 3D print a kidney, put stones in urine in it, and they had a 64% rate of passing a kidney stone.
So that's, in vitro. So that's an experimental model. I would like to see if they had, 3,000 people, 1,500 ride the roller coaster and 1,500 don't, what the passage it is. I'm sure that would be a better study, because a model's a model and has limitations.
Right, sure.
But it really makes sense.
And bumpy with lots of twists, but no upside-down loops. Now, this is only for small stones, not a cure-all. But it's a stunning reminder that sometimes the most effective treatment isn't in a pharmacy, but waiting for you at the end of a line.
Yeah.
They used 174, Dr. Dan, test models.
174
Yeah.
3D printed kidneys.
Correct.
Well, I'm just telling you, I'm a human being. I am a man. What movie is that
I'm
for?
not an animal. I'm a human being. William Hurt, animal. I mean,
Elephant Man?
Elephant Man. Yes.
Yeah, Elephant Man.
William Hurt did it. Did you know that he was the actor for it?
Yeah, I did.
Good-looking William Hurt.
Yes. So anyway, if I'm a human being, and I can tell you that riding a Harley for an hour up at Big Gus's, and obviously, I didn't know I had that many in the hopper.
You still have your Harley?
No, I do not.
You should get one again because you could ride around here. These are the areas where it's actually kind of safer to ride, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some of these back roads.
Yeah.
And put Birch Creek on the back. Guys, get your little headphones and
maybe I could
talk.
catch. Maybe I can get a hold of Chris the River, and they could loan me one or something like that.
Yeah,
Therapeutic.
We'll talk to Crystal Harley.
You know, people write off their pool because they need hydrotherapy. You can write off your Harley because you need
kidney
stone therapy.
So anyway, when we return, looks like the Diane Rossini, she's out playing the name game again. She got pulled over by a Minneapolis police department sheriff, state trooper kind of guy, and she's playing the name game.
Do you hate her for that?
No, I don't hate her. It just goes on brand though. She's officially fired. Like, she's no longer part of the NFL, is she?
No. She's pretty much blackballed.
And she got fired for the same reason? By throwing her name around?
No. She got fired for blasting the head coach of the New York Patriots.
Well, or New England. But the whole point is that I guess it's the media trying to still bury her and say that she was banging almost a ton of football coaches.
Yeah,
you could do these name drops and.
Well, she had all of the NFL football coaches on speed dial.
She's like the Barbara Walters of football.
Somewhat, yeah. We'll get into that next.
In the Love Sponge monarchy, thou shalt not challenge King Bubba's authority ever.
May.
He's not on drugs. He's just weird.
May.
Thank you, everyone. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. Venmo, PayPal. I got pee, but I'm gonna wait. I don't want to leave chat. So right when they get back, I'm gonna run out there. Get a good water, good pee. I don't want kidney stones. Hope everyone's having a great day at the New York Patriots. I know I heard that. I was like, let me correct the name. What's up, Joe? I know, yeah, exactly, Dirk. I think we were just saying because she was getting all the inside stuff. I don't know, but she makes news. This is just throwing it out there. What's up, Berto Perez? Yeah, I thought I heard that. I am Mr. Yes Man, so I probably should have been like, yeah, but you were correct. It is the New York Patriots. Oh yeah, great. Well, when I get done with my Lummy list, we should do a fishing trip, a golf trip, a duckman trip, and every type of trip. Need anything? You need energy drink, some water?
I'm good, buddy.
Back rub?
Sure, back rub would be great. My balls itch too.
Alright, let me get my rubber gloves.
Why? It's better with the skin. Alright, let's go up here, start beginning. Hi, Dirt Merchant, John K. Steele, Rick James, good morning, Bob Cook. Bart Hutchison, 843. New York Greg. Yankee Jib. OG Ball, Z to Chin. Mistake. That Mike. Person. Trash guy. Cash. Stacy G. Nightbot. Oh, sorry. Iggy, good morning. Kenny's for now. Fuck you. Good morning. Daddy, F1. Cash, PH. Big Red, good morning. Rocky. Ocean, KJL. Barbecue, Master. Brandon Foster. What's up, Brooksville? Jump it up. Ben Longer, Heather Spin. Sister Lips. Snook Slayer, TNT. Ether. Jerkism. Black Guy Galley. Powers. Decorative. Bippy. Buckle Brush. Upset. So Jeff Schwartz.
Hey, Lummy.
Yes, sir.
Ford.
Will you get that Lasker NASCAR logo
Yeah.
over to Erica?
Yep.
Jacks. Calls and blazing.
So,
Tom. Ever 1766. Dank 1779.
Escape the ordinary and step into a storybook setting at the Barn at Covington Farm. Nestled in the heart of the countryside, our working farm offers a breathtaking backdrop where timeless authenticity meets refined elegance. Picture your exchange of vows against serene lakefront views, followed by a grand celebration beneath our soaring 35-foot ceilings. Whether it's a timeless wedding or a milestone event, expect the charm of a venue that feels like home, only more magical. Schedule your tour today. Visit CovingtonFarmBarn.com. You gotta tell them Bubba Army for that discount. The Barn at Covington Farm. Your forever begins here.
Throw up your rock fist when I drop this.
So, Dan, what, by the way, June 30th, last day of June 2026. Tomorrow's July 1. So, as I started my half a teaspoon of baking soda in my water in the morning, which, by the way, tastes like crap.
I know. It does taste horrible.
have you tried apple cider vinegar?
That's even worse.
Is it worse?
Yeah, they make one that's decent now with a little lemon and.
Can you put it in a pill so you don't have to taste it?
I can do that too.
I mean,
Or a gummy?
Is apple cider vinegar, because I do have some pills, is it as effective as the juice?
No.
I mean, is anything, Dan, as effective as a pill as it is a liquid?
If it's concentrated in a pill, could be, absolutely.
Because I have apple cider vinegar pills.
Take them. You should be taking them every day. If it's a pill, just throw it in your,
I just think it's right
Still
down
in
the
the
hatch.
mix. Yeah.
And it doesn't really, you can't taste it. 'Cause it's
No,
just,
exactly. Just have it by your sink in the morning when you brush your teeth.
And then
Take your apple
then
cider.
what happens when the encapsulation breaks down? Then
You get the apple cider. It's highly concentrated.
When it hurt.
You all right?
yeah, I'm okay. Whew. So anyway, here's this Diane Rossini playing the name game. Does she literally have the head coach of every team on her speed dial? And
Yes.
and who has she been linked with? Now, we don't know this to be true, but like who has she been linked with regards to potentially blasting? Obviously, Vrabel.
Yes.
You said Todd Bowles?
No, well, people were saying just about she would go and do any coach just to get some kind of insider from it. So realistically, it seems like some of the younger white coaches is who she was going after, like the Rams guy, this Vikings guy, yeah, McVay, the Vikings guy, and then 2 or 3 other assistants.
She used to do a story on ex-NFL doctors.
Now, can we speak about your father now that he's passed?
Yes.
Did Daddy Joe
Blast Diana Rossini? I don't think so.
No, but like, did Daddy Joe, was he quite the, because he was a good-looking
Single guy, and if there was someone single around, he would have a shot at him.
He'd sniff her out.
He'd sniff her out. Yeah. He'd be like, I smell Vrabel.
I'm a Vikings fan, unfortunately. Let's say it.
And she's so, like, braggadocious about it.
Hold on. I got this for you.
Did you see the name?
Oh my God. KOC?
See what I said? Look what I said to him though just now. Go to the bottom.
Oh my God. Wow. Pretty cool.
Dude, I love Vikings. They're awesome. KOC's awesome.
Yeah. He seems like a
Your
dude.
quarterback sucks though.
What'd she say? Who
Your
sucks?
quarterback sucks.
Oh, is that what she said?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. He seems like a
Your
dude.
quarterback sucks though.
Yeah. So he's got to fix it. He's got to turn it around or someone else is going to get him.
What is your team?
I'm a Vikings fan, unfortunately.
So does she get out of this ticket?
Yeah, she does. There's a long. It's like a 7-minute one, but this is the shortest
What
one.
was she pulled over for?
So she was pulled over for distracted driver.
Oh, for texting while driving.
Yes.
Meanwhile,
Which is such a crap thing to get pulled over for.
And then I sent you this, which is why it's going out. Like I guess this uncomfortable interview that her and Kevin McConnell did, the code for the Vikings. So now people are just digging into that.
We were just this little baby that nobody was listening and watching. We appreciate that you came on season 1 when we were just this little baby that nobody was listening and watching. And now every single Minnesota Vikings blog listens to every episode.
I'm sure they do.
And they love me.
Thanks for coming out and spending some time with us.
She's a big fan of herself, isn't she?
Yeah, and it looks like
Damn.
It kind of looks like he's not. And look at just how.
Yeah, look how he's looking at her like, you little bitch.
Yeah, like watch his reaction.
Thanks for coming out and spending some time with us.
We appreciate that you came on season 1 when we were just this little baby that nobody was listening and watching. And now every single Minnesota Vikings blog listens to every episode.
I'm sure they do.
And they love me.
Thanks for coming out and spending some time with us.
That look, that half smile, double blink when she says, and they love me. You can see his immediate disgust by that comment.
I think, like, Lummy, is she officially like what's it called, persona non grata?
Yeah.
Is she kind of like, is she kind of like, no way do you want her in your building? No way is she going to be representing anything NFL sanctioned. No way anybody's ever going to pick her up to be an NFL reporter just because of the things that she did were just so egregious.
Yeah, because anytime that she has any kind of story, they're just always going to jump to that she banged it out
They'll
of
be
him.
able to find some clip that at the time when she wasn't part of a scandal didn't really mean anything.
Correct.
But then when you throw the scandal, what she's been accused of, caught of doing, then it all just kind of makes sense. The whole storyline of getting pulled over by a Minnesota State trooper, her showing that she just had a private text conversation with the head coach. She gets a warning there. That then when she's interviewing said head coach, she wants to talk about how everybody loves her. And he kind of, I don't know, uncomfortably says, sure, appreciate you coming out. Like, I don't think that she, Lummy, the other thing is, well, I'm not going to mention who it is. Have you seen the correspondence that I've been having on our email with regards to the person that wanted to book me on a particular podcast?
Yes.
Do you think that's real? I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either.
I've been not giving them much information. Just been giving them, yes, I'd like to do it. Here's my available dates. And, if I could get booked on that podcast, it would be a great podcast to get booked on. But I don't think it's real.
No, it seems like it just keeps going back and forth. How it is, it's like it's typical how they do it nowadays.
But what are they looking for at this point? Like, because then he said, by the way, it's sponsored, and you'll be getting the $2,500 sponsorship fee. Now, I've been doing this long enough to know that that's not the way it works, and it does work on that level with maybe potentially Joe Rogan or Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson. Really, really, really big franchises will sometimes pay for people's travel and what have you, but they never pay that type of exorbitant money for a Zoom deal. Never.
No, the amount of money that they just said is the typical. That's the exact number that everyone that scams is putting out there.
Right.
1,500 to 2,500.
The only thing I'm thinking
really? That's range,
yeah.
just to entice you. So you just put your information. What's the next step for them to like?
Well, the next step I think would be come today. I gave them a date that I was available. And so now they ask for your personal information so that they can potentially wire the money into your account. That's where the scam comes. I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
That's one of it. Or they either wire too little, too much, or something, and then they try to get access to your accounts.
I'm not giving any of that. I mean, listen, if you want to,
PayPal, Venmo, Cash App me.
I don't even want to give them that information.
No, well, you've given the world that information. Why wouldn't?
Well, I mean,
what's your fear there?
Well, in fear that they'll take over the account, try to get a reset password sent to their cell phone number. Like, you don't understand. These people are real, real bad. So, like, the person has reached out to me.
Have you spoken to the person, or is it just by text stuff?
Just
or
emails. Email. And like, do you want to be a part
Get them on the phone.
Do you want to be a part of this particular podcast hosted by two people that are very famous in the sports world? That's all I'm going to say. Let's not even mention anything else, Lummy.
Yep.
There are two people. At least one's very famous.
Yes.
One's very famous, and then that person has like a co-host that's not so famous, but the one person is very famous.
Yes.
In covering, I'm just going to say in covering football. That's all I'm going to say. And so they're like, do you want to be on this podcast? The first 15 minutes will be about a little bit about you. The next 15 minutes will be them asking you questions. And then the third 15 minutes, is kind of open conversation. If you want to ask them questions and whatever, it lasts between, 35 and 50 minutes. Which is, again, a standard template for big-time podcasting. And I can see where a scammer could get that information and use it. And they're like, okay, well, since this episode is sponsored by, let's say DraftKings, although it's not, there's a $2,500 payment that they will pay you after the podcast. I'm like, okay. So then the person that's booking me says, here's 3 days that they're available. Pick one. So I picked the day, and that's where we stand right now. I haven't heard back.
Yeah.
And no, it's not Pat McAfee. I wish it was. I could probably call Pat, and Pat's just not going to.
No, Pat's not going to pay.
Pat's not going to pay anybody.
Pat doesn't have to pay anybody. And quite frankly, the people that the person that they're trying to book me on, that person wouldn't have to pay anybody either.
No.
No, I mean, it would just be such a huge opportunity for anybody. So let's see. I think I'm being scammed. God, the closer that we get to a particular situation, that's all I'm going to say, the more the troll activity has just come to an absolute fever pitch, from the guy that wanted a $5 refund and had blamed us for stealing all of his credit card information. Every time he'd get a new Get debit card, we'd steal it.
Yes.
For his and apply it to his $5 a month YouTube subscription. And did you know that guy who completely cussed me out, called me Bubba's broke, Bubba's a loser, I'm turning Bubba into the Better Business Bureau, I'm gonna turn Bubba into the IRS and all this kind of deal. Did you know he reached out to Lummy yesterday and apologized for being wrong and bought $20 worth of gifted memberships to hand out to people?
Well, thank you.
Did he not?
Listen, everything's good with him, and we got all things figured out, and he noticed that we were not stealing his credit card.
I wonder what a guy like that makes those type of allegations, how he feels afterwards. Because his first email, he was ready to turn this into the Better Business Bureau, the IRS. He says Bubba's broke. He's having to harvest everybody's credit card numbers and to be able to make ends meet. He's a piece of shiz. I hate him. Oh my God, he's a scumbag. I've listened all these years. I never knew that he was at such dire straits and such a scumbag. And then it goes to be, actually, it was your fault. Like, everything that's happening to you is your fault. Your fault.
Thank you, Miguel. He gifted 5 memberships. And then we weren't in the way that, I didn't jump to conclusion of us stealing credit cards.
Slanderous, defamation. I mean, it's accusing you of a crime.
And here's the thing, man. Hey, listen, a lot of people make fun of our template with direct contributions from the great people like Iggy and Johnny Costica and Bob Cook and just everybody, Kenny Price, Scout and Pig Gulp, Susan Poitras, Tease, just Creatine Travis, Big Red, all Mitch, all the boys, everybody that steps up on PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. And then we obviously have the $2,000 template where between merchandise and your donations, if you give over $2,000 in a fiscal year, you're invited to our year-end soiree called BARP. We have a lot of different ways, to be able to make a living, so to speak. And quite frankly, out of all the content people out there, I don't know that anybody has a more brilliant way than me with regards to having a party and having a threshold. And if you make that threshold, you're invited to the year-end party and get a ring and, potentially Hall of Fame. It's just, I don't know anybody that's been able to do it like that. Nobody can grift like I can.
Nope.
And so
if your ring isn't busting out any rings?
No, she's just kicking it out wide. And if I had a vagina, I'd be doing that too, but I don't. So, nobody wants to give us credit saying, wow, that's a brilliant template while creating content and having a digital presence to the point where, at the end of the day, Lummy, I'm really considering stepping away from terrestrial radio.
Oh, wow.
I really am. When you show me these Google reports and you show me these things, and if something doesn't give in the neck by the end of this year, I think I've moved it up.
Yes, you have.
When was it supposed to be?
It was before the summer of 2027.
Yeah. I think I'm moving it up.
Oh.
If I don't have any additional terrestrial affiliates by the end of this year, or at least a couple on the horizon where I have pending contracts or, at least, promises that I'm going to be put on an X, Y, and Z, we're done. We're done. And we're going to be like 11-2, which might hurt Dan. We'll have to figure that out.
Uh-oh.
That 11-2 is... Are you losing weight, Dan?
No, my weight's stable. Like 170.
Because that shirt's very thinning.
It's a fitted T-shirt.
Yeah, I can tell. Like you
You look, you look
Fit.
you look fit. Thank you for throwing in your own adjective. You look phenomenally fit. Yeah, you do.
Tan.
So let me, I'm so like over the morning show and getting up and like living the life. I've done mornings now 30 plus years that, and then, we've since been able to analyze where the majority of people watch and listen and catch our show. And it's like, from 2 to 7 p.m. is where most people that don't catch it live grab the show. As many people listen to the show between 2 and 7 or 2 and 8 than do live.
Really?
Yes.
So it's like Gordon Ramsay saying, I'm no longer cooking dinner. I'm tired of working every night at dinner time. I'm just going to do lunches.
And
it makes sense for
if
you?
they were able to show,
Well, they do a good lunch in
but if
Vegas.
they were able to show that the majority of people rewatch the Gordon Ramsay show at lunch, then why wouldn't you?
Right.
So, I don't know. I'm just kind of waiting through this live on the air as it's happening. I'm sure our terrestrial affiliates aren't too happy. But something's got to give. They got to give me some more or I'm out. I'm going to have my life. I mean, as I get older, I want to be able to go and to a movie and go to a Lightning game and, stay out till, 11 o'clock.
Make a suggestion.
Get 8 hours of sleep. Wake up at 7 and be in the studio by 9:45 and start at 11 o'clock. Yes, make your suggestion.
If you didn't try to squeeze so much in before the show, like working out and stuff like that, you'd be able to go to bed a little later, wake up a little later, and have a more normal life. Don't you think that
I don't do that in the morning.
You're not working out in the mornings anymore?
No, the only thing is I need to be in the studio an hour and 15 before the show starts.
That's what your prep requires?
Yeah. So I have to be here by 4:45. So if you make 11 o'clock your starting point, that means I need to be here at 9:45. That means I can sleep till 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I can work out afterwards. I got to get the gym moved over here. I think we're doing it this. I think we're moving the gym. Not you. I got a professional mover.
No, good.
God, that's some of the worst we've ever done, is it not?
Yes, it is. That is some heavy equipment. Very nice equipment.
I got a professional.
Perfect.
Coming in. Apparently some Somalia kids. So, Dan, if I start at 11 o'clock, I don't have to be here till 9. I don't have to be sitting in this chair till 9:45, which means I don't have to get up till 8:30. I can eat breakfast, take a shower, and be in here by 9:45. That means
much easier lifestyle.
That means I don't have to be. I like to get my 8 hours. That means I don't have to be in bed till about midnight.
Whoa.
Well, think of everything I could get done. I could watch Monday Night Football. I could go to a Rays game. I could go to a Lightning game. I could go to a concert.
Dinner dates with Merch
yeah.
Crew?
If I wanted to, say, hey, Mom, you want to go to dinner tonight? We'll pick you up at 8. You could do the world is your oyster. But we're in bed at 6:30 because you got to get up at my alarm now goes off at 3:55. That's when my alarm goes off at. That puts me in here at 4:45. So, it just makes my whole life different. And as I get older, Alumni eventually, after we do that, then I want to scale it back to like 4 days a week. Take Mondays off.
There you go. 3-day weekend.
Or Fridays.
Yeah.
Dan, if we were to take one off, Mondays or Fridays, what would you... Right, Friday.
Friday. Always Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always Friday, because you can travel.
Mondays for alcoholics.
And I don't drink it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You're not so beat up on Sunday that you can't work Monday.
Right.
Just for the people drinking at the beach all day Sunday.
And here's the thing. Working on Monday doesn't mean getting here till 11 o'clock, so that means I can do anything Sunday night.
Yeah.
Where I can watch Sunday night football. I can go out. As long as my big ass is in bed by midnight, I'm good. Apparently, some of the Somalia kids in Minnesota think that Somalia is so great. They don't even care what anybody thinks of them. And they certainly don't care about Donald Trump. Now, Somalia is in Africa, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And what's so great? And what's so good? And let me ask you a question: what's so great about Somalia?
Somalia sucks.
They have the pirates, Somali pirates.
Black Hawk Down with Somalia, right?
So, in order for these Somalian kids to talk about how Somalia is so great, that has to be indoctrined into them because they probably weren't even born there, right?
I don't know. They've been bringing people over from Somalia for 25 years.
Somalia is the best.
Hey, thank you. What do you want to say?
Somalia is the best. Somalia is the best thing in the world.
We love Somalia. We don't care what you think about us.
And I love Somalia. Anything in the world. Donald Trump does not judge us.
Now, in order for this girl to know this is what has to be surrounded her in her life.
Not judge us.
And by the way, they're cute as hell. They're cute as hell, girl. They're well kept. They got nice dresses. They're clean. They got nice clothes. They're eating their little snow cones. Like they might come from somewhat of an affluent family.
I love Somalia.
That opened up a couple daycare centers.
Yeah, exactly. Worth a couple million.
Anything in the world. Donald
So, Bubba,
Trump does.
I mean, if you saw a bunch of little Italian kids and they said, "Oh, we love Italy," that wouldn't be a big deal. That's not a bad thing. I don't think it's wrong for a kid to be proud of their heritage. I do think it's wrong that we have opened our doors to so many people that come here and like thumb their nose at the country while they're here.
I got a problem.
That's the problem.
I got a problem with the fact that you left a country for a reason. And you left that country because the life that you can live in that country is not as good, safe, or as good as this country that you're living in. But you want to pay so much respects and kiss the ass of that country. But meanwhile, that's the country that your parents fled from. So how great is it, really? Now, and it doesn't really matter what these kids say. The kids, they can say anything they want. And you're right. If you had Italian kids that had, or Greek kids, and they said, hey, Greece is the best. That's our homeland. Okay, I understand that. I really do.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That in itself is not evil.
Right. No, it's not. But to besmirch our current president and to besmirch our country in your Somalian is the greatest kind of way, I find it's a little problematic. Like, again, there is no more... nobody's patriotic anymore. Nobody cares about our country. Our country's a big dumping ground for other countries. And our country's a big dumping ground for countries that you're moving away from because the way of life that you can be able to make there isn't as good as you can make here.
Dude, it's a crap hole there. It sucks. There's nothing there. It's poor people, it's uneducated people, it's crowded, it's disgusting, and that's why they have pirates. Life means absolutely nothing in Somalia.
In the world. Donald Trump does not judge us.
Yeah, of course they're being indoctrinated by the parents. And so,
Somalia is the best.
Go ahead, Dan.
I just understand. I just realized one thing, though, that Thomas Edison must have been to Somalia before he invented the light bulb.
Because it's the best?
No, because their heads are shaped like light bulbs.
Oh. Well, maybe it's in the Somalia water.
It must be.
Nancy Pelosi is at the annual San Francisco Pride Parade. And I swear to God, I mean, she can say what she wants. I don't have any problem with her. I have a problem with her husband's tax returns and his capital gains. I think he's got a 27,000%. I think his investments grow at a tune of about 27,000% of all the shady-ass politicians, and they all are. They have the highest gains of any politician. I think if you add every politician up, they still don't together have the returns that Nancy Pelosi's husband has. And I'm not saying anything bad about Nancy, but if she's not 4 sheets to the wind here, my name isn't Bubba Clem. So, wait, do you see how? I mean, she's just visually drunk. What now?
I just want to make sure that we're accurate. She has a 16,930% return on investment.
16,000%.
That's better than Buffett.
And she's beat the market by 581%.
So hold on here. If you were just to put $1 million, okay, times what? 16?
16, yeah.
16%. That means she's making $116,000 a month. I'm sorry, $160,000 a month.
Yeah, it looks like she in 1987 when her and her husband reported $610,000
in 1987.
Yes.
And what is she now?
Well, now her stock for that was just
million.
their stocks, 133.7 million.
Right.
We take great pride.
Tell me she's not
She's
absolutely hammered here. That she's just not absolutely hammered.
We take great pride in San Francisco and our LGBTQ community. And in this year of the anniversary of our founding of our country, the community has made America more American with its mobilization and its speaking out for its rights.
We're estimating there's 1 million people in the city right now. How does it feel?
It feels very exciting. My first one was 1987, so I'm kind of used to this glorious day.
Speaker Mayor, happy Pride.
Happy Pride, thank you.
Yeah, her
We
teeth
take
get
great
more. She
pride
gets
in
more of a
San
side
Francisco
bite, and
and
she
our
slurs when she's drinking. Did you guys see the gay California congressperson that went to a Pride event and was shunned because of his stance pro-Israel? Did you see that?
No.
It was one of the best. You want it this way, now you got it this way moments where this guy was like one of those people like, F Charlie Kirk, he deserved to die. One of those guys that was really pro LGBTQ +1.
This Wiener guy, right?
Wiener, yeah.
But
So he goes to a Pride event and a transvestite or a transgender, 2 transgender guys start screaming at him and say, "You're no longer invited here. You're no longer welcome here because of your stance on Israel."
He is Jewish too.
He's Jewish, but he was so pro LGBTQ, and then as soon as he has to stand that they don't like on Israel, they literally said, "You're not welcome here anymore" at his Pride event.
Will you find it for me, Lummy?
It's coming to you right now.
All right.
If you want a deep dive into the Bubba the Love Sponge show from the past, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back after these words.
Pro-trans rights laws, exactly. And then they attack him because he's pro-Israel, because he's Jewish.
Are you going to be pro-Palestine and gay?
They can't put 100 Democrats in a room and say they all agree on all these issues.
Yeah.
They'd be lying. They're going to call you the police.
Bill Maher came out and said the election for president can be either Democrat or communist. And he goes,
Hey, Tim, what is baking soda for the most part?
It's bicarbonate. It's just it's a base. It's just sodium bicarbonate. It's just a base. It's not alcohol.
So it's digestible.
Yes.
You can eat it.
Yes, you can eat baking soda.
It tastes like shit.
You can brush your teeth with it.
took their mission. You were Greg. I think they have Captain Colonizer. I think so. What's up, Sonata Glass Travis? Hit that cash app, hit that thumbs up. That's not bad there, Jesse.
I got Coach B. What day?
I need to talk to you about that because we had a little miscommunication. First week of July, full week of July is next week, and he was just seeing if Wednesday or Thursday would work because it was the first week with 4th of July coming Thursday or Friday. And,
all right, so you don't know yet.
Well, it's Wednesday or Thursday, whatever works for you. That's what he has done. It's whatever one you want to do. He has it open for you.
On new videos with Gary Lummy, I probably can't have any music in them, can I?
I mean, yes, no. It just we wouldn't be able really to do it on YouTube, and we wouldn't make as much on Facebook.
Jump up, and get down. Lock, but lock.
Banned in all 50 states and 100 countries. We're back to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
I'm cutting got a new concept that I'm doing today. Gary Cantrell's going to put it together. Hopefully have it up by tomorrow. And I can't really tell you much more about it. I shot my second video with Pete yesterday. Oh my God, it was so good.
Can you tell us the topic or not?
Oh yeah. It was a guy named the Golden State Killer? It was about this police officer in California that killed 13 people. And he started out as a ransacker. He was a police officer. And Dan, listen to this. He started, and these are, Pete finds these cases that aren't Son of Sam or Jeffrey Dahmer or the Melendez brothers.
The ones you've never heard of, but
right.
are almost as egregious.
In some instances, more.
Right.
So this guy was called the Golden State Killer. And he went, I'll just give you a little preview, and Pete does 2 or 3 days of straight locking himself in a room for 3 hours a day, learning this guy
And Pete did 25 years in federal prison. So Pete knows all the ins and outs and stuff like this. So this guy, our first one is the Gilgo Beach killer. You know, the guy who just got sentenced to 4 life consecutive, that killed 8 people in Gilgo Beach, New York, and just outside of Long Island. That's our first one. That hopefully will drop maybe next week. Gary is working on that.
And we also have the body cam releasing today after the show.
Oh, yeah, the Break It Down with Bubba.
Yes.
So we're going to have a Break It Down with Bubba. We're going to start having the you know what, I could probably tell everybody. Should I tell everybody the title for me and Pete yet, or should I not, just in case we don't have it all wrapped up? Or do we have it
wrapped up? But I mean, why don't we just, once the first video pops, then just pop it out?
I'm going to have a weekly Break It Down with Bubba. I'm going to have a weekly, 1.5 to 2 hour podcast with Pete, breaking down various killers and the cartel and money laundering and things like that. So I'm going to have that. That's the second piece. And then I'm going to come up with a daily piece that I put together, like a little 1-minute short. And I'm not going to, I could say that it's similar to this one particular person, but then everybody's going to think I was ripping them off.
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's a reactionary video.
Yeah.
So I'm going to shoot a daily reactionary video. I'm going to have a once a week Break It Down. And I'm going to have a once a week Pete. So that's 7 pieces of additional content I'm giving you. Lummy and I would also I don't want to do food reviews on my own. I want to do food reviews with Lummy. It's easier when you have somebody to bounce off of.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to start doing weekly food review. There's 8 pieces. If Lummy does the wrap-up show on Thursday.
Friday. It'll be Friday.
On Friday.
And then the sports show on Thursday.
So there's 10. And then, Lummy, I just got this new podcast booker who has booked. I got Lana Turner coming in. I got, 3 or 4 other guests. So I'm looking at additionally 11 pieces of additional content a week. 11 pieces. 10 of which are locked in. And the 11th would be just different interviews of me having, different people on the show or doing a podcast with them.
And I got another idea, too. I was going to talk to you after the show about maybe either we do it for the morning show where it's a weekly segment or...
Yeah, by the way, I got a weekly segment starting on Fridays with this woman that does nothing but entertainment, a millionaire and billionaire gossip. So I got I got her name written down somewhere, but we're going to start doing her, I think, on Friday, July 10th. That'll be at 9:05. So I'm really working on the show. Now, for the longest time I needed to get out of those studios and into here. And then I needed about 2 months to get now our podcast. Man, Lummy, you should see the way our new podcasting area looks on camera.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
It's super clean. It's not cluttered. It doesn't have the Johnny Carson type of feel where I'm at a big podcasting desk and the guy is, to my right in an Ed McMahon type capacity. It's more like a Matt Cox type deal where it's very intimate. We sit across from each other. It's more of a podcast type deal. It's backlit. Macho's just got it really. Macho, thank you for all the hard work and all the curveballs that I've thrown you, my friend. Thank you so much. And so, Lummy, so we got my daily reactionary video.
Yes.
We got you and I shooting a food review. I got the Pete weekly deal. I got the sports show. I got the weekend wrap-up show. That's 5. And then where did my other ones come in at? So I don't know what I got. I don't know. Maybe I should be writing them down.
Oh, I thought you were. Oh, yeah. We got your reactions, your Pete, the food review.
Let me write this all down on my little whiteboard here. Plenty of time here. All right, so let me see. I got Pete and Bubba.
Yep.
Right? And that's going to be more like a true crime, dark side, that kind of deal, right?
Yes.
Then I got food review.
Yep.
All right? Food review. And then I got a daily reaction, right?
Yes.
Daily reaction. And then I got a Thursday sports.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And then I got a Friday weekend review.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then you got your Lee on Friday.
Then I got my Friday entertainment. Okay.
Body cam reaction.
Oh, yeah. Then we got the break it down with Bubba.
And then you have the podcast guy with the interviews.
And then interviews. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How did I get 10? I don't know where the hell I go. So, yeah. So listen to this, Dan. So we're breaking down this guy named the Golden State Killer.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts out as, oh, my God, I was so riveted. It was an hour and 45. Gary will probably sharpen it up to an hour and 30. He's got to put mug shots. And, not only do we tell the story, but Gary also builds an AI behind it, too. And Gary, just to let you know, if you're listening, we're going to do 2 next week. Pete's going to shoot 2 next Monday with me. One's going to be a serial killer, and then the other one's going to be how the cartel launder their money.
Interesting.
And Pete is an expert at that.
Oh.
Pete did 25 years for that.
Oh.
Just to let you know. So we're going to shoot 2 2 next week. That'll give us 4 in the can. And then after we shoot the 5th, Lummy, we want to release the first one. So we're probably, just so that Gary doesn't freak out, and I'm sure that Gary is going to certainly be very relieved. Gary, we're not looking to release the very first one, Gilgo Beach guy, probably for another 2, maybe 3 weeks.
Okay.
So that gives him plenty of time, right?
Oh, yeah, especially that one, yeah.
Yeah. So, Dane, the first one we do is the Gilgo Beach killer, who was the guy named Rex Heuermann, who killed 9 girls in Gilgo Beach, New York. And he just got sentenced, I think, last week to 4 consecutive life terms. So we break his down first. The second one is the one we did yesterday, and it's the Golden State Killer. And this guy started out as a police officer in the 70s, and he started out as what they called the ransacker. And all he would do, listen to this, Dan, is he would break into women, single girls. He would, first of all, go one city away from where he was a cop.
Mm-hmm.
And so he would go to like the nest. And this was in the 70s. This happened from he did all of this stuff from 74 to 86. Then on 86, they started kind of catching on to him, and he quit. But he couldn't help himself. He would call his victims like from 86 to 2001 and screw with them. Would be like, hey, do you remember the guy that raped you when you were, yeah, that's me. And then hang up on him.
Wow.
And then finally, guess what got him?
I have no idea.
DNA.
Of course.
Because they didn't have DNA. They had all the,
the evidence, but they didn't do the DNA testing.
They had all the cold case files from the 70s, but they didn't have, what is it called, mitochondria DNA.
Mitochondria DNA?
That's when they started having DNA. So he started out as a ransacker, and he did over 125 ransacks, and he was so sick. These killers aren't necessarily the one common thread amongst these killers are they want to have some type of power over you.
Right.
Right.
Rape is about power more than sex.
Right. And so when he would go and ransack a woman, he wouldn't take anything of value. He wouldn't take their gold watch or the cash. He would take, like, if you had a set of diamond earrings, he would take one. Or, Dan, if you had that one picture of your grandpa who's now dead and it's the only picture that you got, he'd take it.
Something that was meaningful.
Yes. And he would sniff their panties and things like that. And that went on for 3 or 4 years, to the point where he did 120 of them. Then he starts.
Was this guy in Congress too?
No, he's 74 and he's currently in prison for the rest of his life. So then he goes to, his name's Joseph Delgado. So then he goes and graduates from being a ransacker. Now the media, they're trying, and they call him the ransacker. And there's 100+ cases of all these women that are getting broken into. But don't forget, he's a police officer, so he can always avoid. He just knew what to do. Then he accelerates it from just breaking into their houses into breaking in and sexually assaulting them. And so he does that. And so he sexually assaults them. But Dan, he does pre-break-ins, so he breaks in like the day before and knows the whole lay of the apartment or the land, and he'll leave one window unlocked to gain entry. Like, this guy's brilliant. Like, and here's the thing, like, oh my God, we went an hour and 45 minutes on the deal, and I was completely, as a co-host, riveted, like just riveted. So I'm thinking, man, the audience is going to be just absolutely riveted, especially when Gary builds a little story behind it with visuals and things like that. So
It's so crazy to break in and then break in the next day.
Yeah, so he'd break in the next day because the first day he'd go no lay of the land. He'd leave a window unlocked. He'd go break in the second day. He'd sexually assault them and then leave. Then he graduated, Dan, into he would target couples. And he'd listen to this, Dan, how sick this is. And Pete finds out all this information's got all the case files, and like it's just here's the thing. We all know about Ted Kaczynski and Timothy McVeigh and Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy and John Wayne Gacy and the Son of Sam and the Melendez brothers. We all know about these high profile cases, but there are actually this Golden State Killer he killed 13.
Well, why wasn't he a high profile case?
Well, just because 70s, for whatever reason, he just never became one. But there's so many of those, they're like, oh my God. So he then graduates, Dan, to picking couples. And he does the same thing. He pre-breaks in, but listen to this. I'm not trying to give all of it away because you're going to love to hear it when it's all put together in format type fashion. But he pre-breaks in, Dan. He finds if the dad or the husband or the boyfriend has a gun. And he doesn't, listen to how brilliant this is and sick. Doesn't take the gun. Do you know what he does?
Empties it out and puts blanks.
No, just takes all the bullets. So, Dan, you got more guns than anybody. Do you go and check every day and if there's bullets in them? No.
If I'm deploying a gun, the first thing I do is check to see if it's chambered
but
and
here's
the bullets.
the deal.
But there's guns and safes and stuff that are loaded that I would assume are still loaded.
Right, exactly. So, like a day before, like he breaks in the day before, he takes the guns, he takes all the bullets out. Well, chances are in that 1 day period, the guy's not going to go check his revolver and his 357 to see if there's any bullets. He automatically assumes there's bullets in there, right?
Yes.
You don't go check your guns every day.
No.
Okay. Maybe your daily carrier, but not the ones that are stored away. He goes in and takes the bullets out. So that when he breaks in, of course, the guy runs right for his gun, and the bad guy's like, ha, 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 ha. So then, now hold on, Lummy, he was in the Navy. This comes into play.
Oh.
He was in the Navy before he was a cop. Well, what do all Navy dudes know what to do?
Have sex with other guys
No,
on sea?
no.
Oh, okay.
Talk to them.
All Navy guys know how to tie exotic knots.
Yes, they do know how to tie
Yes,
knots. They are good knot tires.
They know all types of knots. And listen,
They know how
people
to
don't
dock.
realize that there's a large amount of different the way you can configure a rope into a knot configuration, and those knots have names.
Yes.
There's some knots that are easily made that when you hit it, it completely unravels and lets the boat go. There's other knots that you can't absolutely unbreak. Like it's just, and so he learned what they called so this is just what I learned being a co-host with Pete. He learns a knot called the diamond knot. So what he does, Dan, is he gets a shotgun. He breaks into a house, a girl that he wants to sexually assault. He holds her at shotgun and makes her tie up the husband the best that she can. He then can overpower her, and he ties her up. Then he goes back and puts what's called a diamond knot on the guy. And then he leaves her knotted up and he sexually molests her. Now, here is where the most interesting fact and sickest fact that I've ever heard comes into play. And Pete tells the story brilliantly, and you're going to want to hear the podcast. These podcast stories that I'm going to do, it's going to really take our brain to the next level.
Awesome.
It really is. So, Dan, you know what he does? So while he puts a rag in the guy's mouth, he ties him in a diamond knot, which is basically he hog ties their feet and their arms together in what's called configured a diamond knot. And then he goes to the kitchen and gets all the plates, the china and good plates that he can find, and he stacks them on the guy's back. And he says to the guy, "That's the trigger. If you scooch around and wiggle around and try to get out of this, the second that one plate drops off your back is when I kill everybody." Now, how demented and sick is that?
Yeah, that's pretty twisted, but smart.
But the guy has to sit there and watch his woman be sexually assaulted for two. There was up to sometimes he would do 2 sessions, a 2-hour session, then go eat a sandwich and drink a beer, and then go back. And then here's the other. There was instances, 4 or 5 different instances, Dan, where he acted like he left. And here the women and the man are standing beside each other, on the ground, and they would be like, "Listen, he's been gone 20 minutes. You think you can start helping me get out of my knot and I'll help you get out of your knot?" The plates would fall over, and he would jump out of the closet and said, "I'm still here," and shoot him.
Jesus.
So
he ransacked, he raped, and he murdered?
And then so finally, he murdered. So with the rapings, there was a majority of those people that he would just let go. He'd just leave, and an hour later they would finally realize he's gone, and they would untie each other, and they started. And so at that point, he moved to a different police agency, like 250 miles away. And this is in the late 70s, early 80s, where they didn't have a national computer base to, type in, so the people in this new 250 miles, they never knew about the ransacker. And then, he never knew about the rapist. So because he kept moving. Finally, he got caught buying burglary tools at like an Ace Hardware and got fired as being a cop, but they still never put 2 and 2 together that he was the raper. So finally he gets more and more brazen, and the technology start catching up to them. And Dan, they have all these cold case files, but they don't have the ability to test any of the rape hits or anything like that, because, with all the rapes and what have you, he would leave DNA, semen and things like that.
It'd be impossible not to.
Right. So they would collect it in the investigation. They just didn't have a way to test it. So finally, mitochondria DNA becomes available, and they get a DNA. They start getting DNA.
The mitochondria comes from the mom. That's the secret part of it.
Okay.
So it's your maternal DNA.
So they start getting DNA, and they get a hit, and they start narrowing it down that it's, and through, when he was the ransacker, they didn't know who he was. But when he started, having physical contact with these chicks, they could start paring it down. And the way Pete says is, and they just start drilling down. They start out with, it's a white guy. So at that point now, black guys, Asian guys, Latino guys, we're not even looking for you. They drill down to a white guy. Then, Dan, they get a DNA evidence, and they are able to match, semen from one to another. And so now they start drilling down to, and finally they end up getting a napkin. They sit on the guy for a while, meaning they got surveillance on him, and they get a napkin out of his garbage, that he wiped his mouth with.
Mm-hmm.
And they get a napkin, and they finally get his DNA, and they started putting it all together. And so listen to this, Dan. he got caught because there was a woman named, I think her name was Murphy. Mitchell or Murphy. And she was, I think, worked for the Los Angeles Times, and she was a journalist. And she got behind this. And this was in the early 90s, where the internet was more just like neighborhood blogs and people, sharing information. And so all these communities that had been terrorized by first the ransacker, and then second the raper, and then thirdly the killer, all kind of could start kind of talking to each other. And this woman wrote a New York Times bestseller book on this Golden State Killer, and they called him the Golden State Killer, and it was a New York Times bestseller. And that book that she wrote helped break the code. And it went from a state case, just the state of California, to the feds now got involved. And that's when they finally picked him up. And then he was sentenced during COVID. And he was supposed to be condemned. Like I think California might still have the death penalty, but they don't ever use it. But because of COVID and nobody was doing in-court deals and things like that, he got sentenced to life. He's 74 or 75 years old. I think his name is James Delgado, better known as the Golden State Killer. And we break that story down. That's our second podcast. Our first one is the Gilgo Beach Killer, who killed 8 women. And the second one is the Golden State Killer, who killed 13.
That sucks. He had a wife and 3 kids.
Yeah, and he was a 2-time police officer. And so, Dan, as smart as you are, Dan, you never heard of that story, had you?
Nope.
But I guarantee, Dan, you'll start listening to this, and you'll be like, oh my God, I have to listen to it all.
It's riveting, even the pre-story.
And I don't tell the story nearly as efficiently as Pete. Now, next week we got another killer, and then we're gonna cut to next week. And Pete actually did 25 years in federal prison for working. I'm just gonna say, working with the cartel. And he's gonna get into and I find that fascinating too. And what people don't realize is, if I was to ask you, Lummy, how many cartels are in Mexico?
In Mexico?
And you'd be like, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2.
No, in Mexico, there's probably about 24.
Then there's 5 to 7 major ones.
No.
Major ones?
Nope. 13.
Okay.
There's 13. And like the El Chapo guy, he's just one. There's 13 there's 12 other El Chapos.
Yeah, there's all in the different territories.
And they have all these codes where the cartel cannot talk to American on American soil. And and the cartel, there's only 3 cities that matter. Mexico City, Chicago, and Los Angeles. That's the only 3 cities they distribute in. And Los Angeles is the headquarters for all U.S.-based operations. Chicago is the distribution point for the rest of the country, and Mexico City is where they all live.
This is the biggest city in the world, isn't it?
Yeah. So
population 12 million.
He is an absolute expert. Last week when we did our first one, which was the Gilgo Beach guy, he was sitting in Dan's seat. I was sitting in yours, Lummy, and we were just talking about how we're going to do this and things like that. And he got into the cartel story, and we sat there for 2 hours, and I was just like a little bitch, just completely enamored by his knowledge of how they launder their money into the United States, or how they launder their money, period. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So anyway, that's my new thing. I shoot those every Monday with a guy named Pete. He is still on federal probation. He has to get clearance from his probation officer to even come down here on Monday. He lives in Orlando, Lummy.
Oh.
He's got
to leave the county, so it's a big deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he has to. They have my address, and he spends the day down here, and they have to know what time he gets here. And then he has to text what time he's leaving, what route he's taking. And so, when the first time he came here, Lummy, he got stuck in traffic, and he had to let his probation officer know the entire time, here's my route.
Well, they have a GPS on his phone. They know where he's at. And Matt Cox handed me off to him because Matt Cox is well on his way to do it. He's like, listen, I want to do a podcast with this dude named Pete, but he's on federal probation, and I can't do one with him. Because I had my scrape with the law. So, Dan, as part of federal probation, you can't work with another person that's been in trouble.
That's interesting.
So they had to his probation officer had to do a background check on me. And listen, as bad as you think that may come, I'm actually
clean as a whistle.
I'm clean as a whistle.
Yeah, you got no convictions.
Now don't call the IRS, but I mean, that I don't think the IRS and the FBI talk. I don't think so.
Well, no one talks to the IRS. I mean, you know that.
Hold on. Can I tell you something? I'm not trying to get you too much in my business. I actually talked to my IRS attorney, John, yesterday.
Nice.
And I said, John, this is getting ridiculous, buddy. We've had an offer of compromise, submitted to the IRS. Now we're going on 15 months. And he's like, he said, I've actually tried to call the IRS's, how they have those headquarters down by One Buck Stadium? Mm-hmm. That place, right behind the World of Beer or whatever the hell, not the Miller's Ale House?
Yes.
They got that really big building?
Yep.
He's like, I've actually called down there, got a person on the phone, and gave him your case number, tell them that I have the power of attorney to, to write and sign and speak for you, and they take my number down. It's the 14th time I've done it, and I can't get a call back. So they won't respond to us via our offer of compromise for 14 months, and we can't even set up an appointment at the local office to speak to them about why they won't give us any correspondence back. And he thinks that, well, first of all, the person that got our cold case was a woman named Maureen Cunningham or whatever her name was. And she was one of the 96,000 that was hired by Trump, by Biden. Well, she was also one of the 96,000 that was fired by Trump. So we literally do not have an agent to talk to us. And I'm in limbo. Like, I can't. There's a lot of things I'd like to do, but I can't. I can't even. My truck is 6 years old. I'd like to maybe buy a new truck.
You can't.
I can't. I cannot buy a new truck. They'll take it. I can't do anything. I literally can't do anything. So I just got to sit here. And
because the IRS has this weird stuff leaned on you, you're financially crippled?
Yep, I can't do anything. I cannot do anything, Dan. I can't. I think they have a lien on my passport.
What?
Yes. There's a lien if you owe the IRS any type of money. Let me look it up. I'm going to go into words. I'm running late. Look it up.
All right.
If you owe the IRS a certain threshold of money, which I think over that threshold, they put a lien on your passport. We'll come back with that answer next.
Let's all take a moment.
Remember, this show is about words, not actions.
Okay, there is a God.
More of the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
I know I tried to get a passport 3 years ago at the post office, and they told me I could not get one. I was not eligible for a passport. And I go, what do you mean I'm not eligible? And they said it's an IRS lien. Dan, how'd your surgery go?
Went great, thank you. I have surgery today, too, because it's a weird week.
You got to leave early today?
No, just at 9.
And then we're going to go into this.
Oh, Dan's,
I'm going to have you, Dan, you or Lummy, describe it.
Okay.
Here. The Wieners haven't been too good in politics in the last 10 years.
It's a horrible name.
What would you do, Dan, if you were Dr. Dan Wiener?
I'd be a urologist.
Is that Bubba Army good?
Pardon?
Oh, I just said Bubba Army good. Good morning.
Hey, Bubba, what I sent you, that thing may actually help.
What did you send me, buddy?
It's in your text message.
You text message me?
I texted you something about a purchase.
I have one of those.
Have you used it?
No, not really.
Maybe it's an idea.
For my kid zones?
Yeah.
I would be willing to say you're right.
I think you probably put it under a chair.
See about yeah, so sad about Chris Johnson.
Who's Chris Johnson?
The running back that used to play for the Titans. Really fast. He's like 38, 39. I think he just got diagnosed with ALS.
I bet he's on a statin.
Huh?
I bet he's on a statin.
Oh, Bubba, this is, if you have a chance, I know it's, I just messaged you. If Dr. Dan, before he leaves, could explain this to us about Cena.
About what?
Cena got, or what it is, it's FUE treatment.
You sending it to me?
I just sent it to your messenger.
That's it. That's what we did. Oh, here.
Yeah, yeah.
We need some thumbs up.
There's a story.
Hey, Lummy, can we start a poll on what you think about Bubba's new podcasting ideas?
Okay.
Good or dumb?
Love it or dumb? Yeah.
Love it or dumb?
Okay. I sent you that John Cena one.
So soon right now, Yankee Jet.
Now there's no. This is
no. Just if Dr. Dan can explain what the FUE treatment is, we can make a short out of it. Cause
is that seen on the left?
Yeah. The bald guy.
I think it's about time for me to go in to see Dan when it comes to the hair gimmick.
It's time, buddy.
Have you started his pill yet?
No, I need to call Jennifer today and get the pill. Is that what I...
My fellow Americans, I did not cross the doorway, defeat the British, and help found this great nation so you could pay $250 a month for cable television. Taxation without representation was bad enough, but streaming subscriptions without end, that's tyranny. Sports packages, movie packages, premium channels. Every month another charge attacks your wallet. This Independence Day. Declare you're independent. With a box from getabox.com, you buy it once, and that's it. No outrageous cable bills, no endless streaming subscriptions. Just connect it to your Wi-Fi, plug into your TV, and enjoy thousands of live channels, sports, movies, and entertainment. The Founding Fathers fought for freedom. Now it's your turn to fight for your bank account. Visit getabox.com today. Use promo code BUBBA and save $25.
Declare your independence from outrageous TV bills. Getabox.com, promo code BUBBA.
I love everything about the show.
Every day for 4 hours, man. It just makes time to buy.
Gotta be Bubba.
This is awesome. I love it.
And I spent about 2 hours in my car when it's supposed to be a 20-minute break.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Johnny Telsica, Master Pool Repair. Johnny Telsica, $50. Thank you. Also, Lummy, I can give Gene's Milwaukee horn back to him because Will sent me a DeWalt one that he doesn't want. Because Lasker, he's always just a stupid comment away from getting thrown off the show.
Exactly.
And so he's like, let me tell you something. I quit. And I need my horn back.
New York Greg, $20. Love the podcast, ladies.
Thank you, New York Greg. And by the way, man, our podcasting set is so simple and so clean. It's just, I'm really excited, and we were able to incorporate it into this studio with these temporary walls. Well, my side of the wall, the right wall never moves because it's kind of against that pole, so that stays there. And then the table stays there, and then we can just move the wall on Petey's side a little bit closer to the table when we're not using it. But we plan on using it a lot more. And I think we're actually putting a poll up. What do you think about Bubba's new stuff? Again, the Pete and Bubba once a week podcast. But Lummy and I are going to do a food review, try to do that once a week. I'm going to do a daily reactionary video. That starts today. Lummy is going to do the Thursday sports show, the Friday review show. Then I'm going to start having on the main show, this show here, Fridays at 9:05. This woman's going to come on and give us like a weekly entertainment report, pop culture, millionaire, billionaires, what they're up to. We've already started now. We'll be on our third or fourth or fifth episode of Break It Down with Bubba, and I got 3-4 of those in the can.
I think, today's the 5th.
I got Lana Turner that I'm interviewing on, I think, the 10th. She's got a film festival coming out that her documentary, I think, about her husband, Alfie May. That's going to be at the Sarasota Film Festival. So I'm going to be more aggressive on being on people's podcasts and also having people on my podcast.
And I know that we don't have the date because obviously you, but that coach, you and him are going.
Me and Coach B.
Yes.
Now, is that going to be a podcast or on the regular show?
For the first time, a podcast.
All right, cool. Because when we book people,
yep.
As I've been booking people for the podcast, I tell them we got two worlds we live in. We got a world where we have a syndicated morning show that's also heard, live as we speak on and I give them all the other places. I said, but that can be no longer than 30 minutes. That's a 30-minute block. If we need to go longer than that, then let's take it off the grid and go straight podcast. Now, here's the deal, Lummy. When I do a Zoom podcast, I think that it has to be from where I'm sitting now.
Yes.
And then when I do an in-person podcast, then it can go from podcast land over in our new podcast, in our Matt Cox podcast land, right?
Yes.
So if I was to do Coach B and it ends up being a Zoom or any Zoom for that matter, it has to be, I think, from this chair right here.
Yes, it does.
All right, perfect. So, again, we put a poll up on what do you think about, and here's the deal. We're going to do all of these. Like, these aren't just wishful thinkings. Like, the Break It Down for Bubba, that's already implemented. I think the Friday and the Thursday show with Lummy, that's locked in.
Yep.
The Friday entertainment segment that I do with this chick, that's locked in. The daily reaction video that I'm going to do, I've already written the one for today. That's locked in. Lummy and I, probably the only thing we have to get off our asses is the food review.
We'll probably start that right after the 4th.
Probably after the 4th.
Yep.
The Pete and Bubba, that already got 2 in the can. I'm going to put 2 more in the can next week and then have Gary start releasing it. And interviews, I'm I'm booking those as we speak. So I think you're going to get a lot more content. Because we've been lacking on content for the most part. And some of which I've had to be filmed. I got to get like 3 or 4 of these Pete gimmicks. I wish I could tell them the name of me and Pete's podcast. Ask Gary if we can or not. And Gary, if you think we should hold off, we'll hold off. But when I tell you the name of it, I think you're really, really gonna like it. But we might not be, we should probably not say anything. So John Cena posted.
Yeah, Gary said just hold off on it for right now until he gets closed.
Johnny Kosika said, "Man, let him fly. Let the extra content fly." $100 from Johnny K. Thank you, Johnny K. So Dan, first of all, it looks like John Cena's doing something with a guy named Ken Anderson. He's a doctor, and it's called an FUE treatment. Mm-hmm. And John Cena tweets, X, round 2 of my FUE treatment and this time I went all in for the best possible results. Thank you, Ken Anderson, MD, and the staff at Anderson Center for Hair for accompanying me on this journey. So is basically, Dan, John Cena doing what you've been doing now for nearly a year?
For almost 2 years. Yes, it's the follicular unit transplantation of hair.
So that's what the FUE stands for?
Yes, follicular unit.
And that's the same type you do?
Yes, it's the standard of care now. It's what works.
Right. It's the Cadillac of care.
Correct. In the old way, and the big difference is the harvesting. When you harvest a follicular unit at a time, it's a little 1 millimeter punch, which heals in 4 to 7 days. Instead of taking a big strip of hair from the back of your scalp that you have to close, it gets infected and becomes a permanent scar.
They had to actually put suture in, right?
No, we don't.
No.
In the old days. They had to close it. They cut a strip of skin out, like a little cutlet, and then they'd have to elevate the scalp and then tightly close it.
Now, would that okay? So
and it would get infected.
But I'm talking about the old time,
the old way.
Okay, when they would do that, when they take a little, maybe like a 1/2 inch to a 1/4 inch little cutlet,
1 inch,
1 inch, when they would close it. A lot of times when you close things, hair can't grow through a wound.
Right, so you get ingrown hairs in the scar.
Right, so and that's now you probably is not going to be a good harvesting area ever again.
Well, no, there's no room. And once you've done it, I mean, your scalp's already super tight. There's usually not a lot left afterwards.
So the new one, basically the way I understand it in layman terms, is it plucks it out of a densely populated area,
right,
and it replants it into a not so densely populated area.
Correct. And you're using a follicular unit, which is between 1 and 3 hairs usually. Sometimes there's a 4th hair in it, but it's like the system. It's like the hair and the duct and all the things that make that hair live. It's not just taking a person and just throwing them in the woods. It's actually giving him a little campsite
instead of cutting the tree off at where the ground is. You're actually getting the whole root system of the tree, and which at that point you have a way better chance of that tree growing when you take its root system out and then dig a hole and transplant it into another system. Those roots have the opportunity to root, if you will, whereas if you just cut a tree off at the base, there's really not a lot of good chances for that thing to grow.
Right. And so with follicular unit transplantation, you have, a 95+% graft survival.
95.
Oh.
Now,
up to 97.
So, I got, and so I'm just going to be transparent. I'm starting to get that standard 60-year-old male pattern baldness right in the middle, right smack dab in the middle of the Ring of Honor. And so, Dan, what you're saying is you'd probably go into my back area of my hair, which is far more healthier and is not balding, and take it and then put it up into the Ring of Honor. And then there's a 95% chance that it's going to grow in my Ring of Honor.
Correct.
And do you have to like be extra sensitive with that area, like when you're washing?
For the first couple of days, I mean, you can't put any kind of direct water on it. The instructions are like the day after the first 5 days, you have to like spray your scalp every few hours to keep everything moistened.
Like with hold
just
on,
like a saline spray.
How about with my aloe vera? I mean my aloe moisturizer that I put on my face. Can you see it up?
I know what you're talking about, that kind of thing, but no, you need saline. It's a saline spray.
Do you guys get to them?
Yes.
Okay. So
and then when you wash your hair, you put some soapy water in a cup and you pour it on your head. You don't want pressure of the shower, knocking the grafts out the first 5 days.
Right.
And after that, it's durable. But it's the first 5 days you gotta really protect it.
So like if I would go in like on a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. By midweek of next week, I'm kind of out of the fragile area.
Yes. And by that time, 5 days in, you're back. The donor site where the hairs are harvested is pretty much healed.
Now, we're looking at a picture of John Cena here. Now, if I was to get this, do I have to shave my complete head?
You have to wear those Birkenstock super shoes.
I'm out.
And silly shorts. Sometimes it's easier if you shave. Like yesterday, we did a hair transplant on a woman. And so we
You told me
shave.
that like 30% of your business is women.
Yeah, a lot of women have alopecia. A lot of women have really bad receding, thinning hair. We don't really talk about it much as a society, but it's very prevalent.
So wait, Bubba's gonna look like, if he does it, he's got to have a head like that?
He doesn't have to, and we can still graft with hair in the front.
All right, but let me ask you a question.
So, but it's easier. He may have had the robot.
But what is the advantages of shaving your head like John Cena or not shaving it potentially? Like, what do you suggest you'll get the best results on?
The results are identical. It's a matter of how long it takes. If you don't shave, it takes another hour or two longer.
Oh.
And by that time, people sometimes lose their, sense of humor. Because it's good. It's a solid 8-hour procedure.
Even my little area.
It's 2,000 grafts, and most of the time you do about 1,900 to 2,000 grafts at a sitting. So a lot of people that have a receding front and a crown, they end up with 2 separate sessions. Cena went for 2 separate sessions.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing. I still think that I have decent front power alleys. I think maybe in the next hot mic, I can take my hat off, and or maybe even on the air, like maybe even right now, you can just get up and give me a diagnosis, as to. I'm taking my headphones off here.
No, Dr. Dan, can you replace other people's hair? No.
So Dan's gonna give me. Of course, I've not done.
Oh, Dr. Dan, what do you see?
Yeah. Well, that's the Ring of Honor. Yeah. But hold on. Right here's not too bad, is it?
No,
the power alleys.
No, the power alleys aren't that bad, and you got good donor here. You got good.
Dan loves to grab me, but go grab my back of my head again. No, is that? Hold on. Is that good back there?
Yeah, it's good.
Where my hot dog holes are?
Yep.
8 hours though.
No, am I an 8-hour guy?
I think you're an 8-hour guy.
Oh yeah.
No, would I be an 8-hour guy and we're done, or am I an 8-hour guy and come back the next day?
No, you wouldn't do it the next day. You would do them, a couple months apart.
What do you mean a couple months apart? Like
if you did 2 sessions, if you needed 4,000 grafts instead of 2,000 grafts.
Well, you just put your hands on me and you just saw me. What do you think I need?
I think you need to do your crown first, and then you could do the front and the crown if you needed it a second time 6 months later.
So the crown first, and then the front with maybe a crown touch up.
Yeah, because here's what you don't want though, too, Bubba. And this is why you need to be on my hair pill. You don't want Gilligan's.
By the way, I'm calling Jennifer today to get on the hair pill.
You don't want Gilligan's Island.
Well, that's what I got now.
No, you have the opposite.
Oh,
you have Friar Tuck.
I have Bozo.
But you got. I'm not calling you Bozo.
You can.
But all right. So the problem is that if you get that crown area grafted really well and you continue to lose hair, then you're just going to have, you're just going to have this like tough hair in the middle. and nothing around it.
Meaning that my most healthy hair is going to be the hair that you put in.
Correct.
Meaning like that's going to be
right. You
know,
have this like shoot of hair coming out the top of your head.
And I'm going to lose everything around it.
Right. You don't want that either.
But you grabbed the back part of my head quite aggressively, and I liked it. But is that?
Talk through my teeth.
But it seemed like that's pretty solid.
Yeah, that's your donor site, and your donor site is very good. So, we would be able to harvest from there, graft the crown. You need to be on my hair pill so the area that we graft, the surrounding areas don't die. And then if you wanted to, thicken up the front on a second session, you could. But you don't really need to because, like you said, your problem is you got that spot.
Yeah, I got that male pattern baldness from probably taking testosterone.
From being a dude.
And just being, but also testosterone.
What's your dad's hair like?
My dad has got a thick, full of hair. You would not believe.
What is Janie Cake's dad's hair like?
Janie Cake's dad's hair was a little thinning.
Yeah, well, you got that. Usually you get it from your mom's hair.
Yeah, his grandpa Fred, he started losing his hair in his early to mid 60s.
But see, that's not a strict rule because my mom's dad was bald in his 20s. I mean, cue ball in his 20s, and I still have my hair.
Now, what about you? You don't seem, and I think really
could I take my hair pill?
Well, and I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus, but it seems like the only one of your brothers that has a hair issue is Steven, and he's battled that since his early 20s.
Correct.
So he kind of got maybe he got your mom's brother or your mom's father's hair trait.
He definitely did.
Meanwhile, your dad, Daddy Joe,
had pretty good hair.
He was in his 80s before he started to thin out on his hair.
Right.
Like, I mean, he was pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
And there probably gets to a point where you get so damn old where you're like, at what point, Dan, do they age out on when they come to you? And let's say some guy in his 70s wanted to be vain. Would you still do them?
If he rolls up with his 45-year-old girlfriend and he's got cash, yes, I will.
In his Lamborghini?
Yep.
Yeah. Living on Davis Island?
Exactly.
And there's no insurance. There's no insurance. I got my 45K.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I probably need to strategically, figure out when I'm going to do it. Would you do it during the holidays or would you do it or does it really not matter? Because
be a long weekend. Just next time you have a long weekend, maybe Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
That's 8 hours on laughing gas.
No, you only laughing gas for a couple minutes when I'm numbing you up. Then you don't need it. We give you like a Xanax and you just kind of pass out.
Will I be sleeping?
Half the time you will be snoring. You won't even remember what's going on. And we stop to get a nice little lunch. You have to get up and go to the bathroom, no problem. And by the end of the day, you're done.
So I'm looking at about 8 hours. I could get there. I could do this. Well, no. I probably have to take like a Friday, Monday off.
Yeah, do a Friday, Monday. Well, the Monday would be off for Labor Day.
Right,
so
right.
that'd be probably a good way.
Yeah,
good time
but
to do it.
you probably wouldn't be open then.
Well, I'm not going to be open on Monday, but I'll be open that Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, so that Friday.
Yeah.
So
if we had to start a little later on Thursday, we could do later and just go into the evening. You could take Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and be fine Tuesday.
Or I could just be there Friday at 7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I could be there Friday at whatever time you open.
Mm-hmm.
That way nobody's having to stay open later. And what time you guys open for something like that? 7?
We did yesterday, yes.
Oh.
Normally we open around 9.
Yeah, so we could open at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. That gets me out at 3. Right? Ish. 4.
Mm-hmm. 4.
And then now, do you have to sleep a certain way?
Elevated. That's it. Just elevated a few days like a lazy boy.
Does he have to wear one of those like shower hats or whatever?
No.
I think, Dan, the only thing that you really need to do is just keep it spritzed with your ceiling, right?
Keep it moist. Yep. Keep it moist.
Stay out of the shower.
Stay out of the shower.
Well,
keep
stay out
it
of
moist.
the shower. At least shower from the head on down.
Right.
Like you can wash your balls and your personals and your ass. Man, I don't mean to get too graphic, but remember I told you I went to Ruby Tuesdays on Saturday and I had 2 big plates of salad.
Did you get it out?
Which was, very much probably a shock to my system in that I don't eat probably near the fiber or foliage that I need to, but I just had a hankering for Ruby Tuesday salad bar, so I went.
It's so good.
I went up 2 times. Do we have a Ruby Tuesday around here at all?
I think the last one just closed down.
Is there any place that's got a really good salad bar?
I guess Golden Corral.
Do they got a good salad bar?
They used to.
Where's the nearest Golden Corral?
Brandon.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going there.
For a salad bar?
Yeah, I just love. I love
when you get a salad bar, what are you getting in there?
Okay, I got iceberg lettuce.
Okay.
Not
you like iceberg over romaine?
Yes, I hate romaine.
Really?
Hate the little dandelions. I hate all that. I
hate mixed greens. Mixed greens suck, and arugula sucks because it's bitter.
Nope, I'm straight white trash iceberg.
Okay.
Iceberg lettuce. Then I put a layer of cheese on it, and then I put like they have it. I put sunflower seeds, and then I put egg, and then bacon bits, and then
ranch.
Nope, I'm a French guy.
Really?
French.
Really?
Now, if they
I haven't seen French dressing in 20 years.
That's where I got to call ahead and make sure they got it. And if
because they don't
not,
even carry it, right? Sometimes.
A lot of times they don't carry it. So if they don't carry it, I'll bring my own Ken's poppy seed.
Which is good.
I prefer poppy seed dressing.
That stuff's good. I like poppy seed dressing.
Now, did you know one time, Dan, when I worked for Fox, I actually tested positive for heroin?
Yeah, you told me this story like 2 weeks ago, I think. You said because your poppy seed bagels, or was it the dressing?
No, poppy seed dressing.
It was just the dressing?
And you know how comfortable it is for them to come in and say, Mr. Clem, is there something you need to tell us about? I'm like, no.
There was this one girl I drove to Chicago.
Yeah, there's one girl I drugged one time, Xanax. So anyway, if they don't have, I'll have Merch Crick carry a bottle of Ken's poppy seed in her purse just in case. But man, I love me a good salad bar. So I have
go to the casino for the salad bar. They have that back open at the Fresh Harvest.
Where at?
The casino.
What? Hard Rock?
Yeah.
Well, then you got to park to get in, and you just like that's a whole
walk 150 yards, 200 yards.
The good thing about eating at the Hard Rock is that you completely walk off your entire meal by the time you get your car.
It's a trek.
And then you just got to hit a couple slot machines on the way out,
right?
And those don't pay nothing. So I haven't had a good salad in a long time, so I think that kind of shocked my system. I've been feeling, and I was having these absolute explosive, most rancid farts all day on Sunday. And then I finally, on Sunday night, took like 6 psyllium husk pills.
Whoa.
And so yesterday after the show, I had Pete here, and I told Pete, you got to hold on, I got to go poop. And I probably had the largest bowel movement I may have ever had in my life.
Mount Everest?
Oh, my God. First of all, it started out with a cable that was probably 12 inches long, straight cable. And then, Lummy, it went to a brain matter that actually heaped up out of the pool.
Like a Hawaii?
Yeah.
Like an island coming out of the ocean?
So much so, Lummy, that I had to I flushed, and you get that rising tower.
Yes.
That the tower that, you're like, oh, my God, is it going to go? Is it going to go over the sides? And it stopped right at the edge, and I had to go get a toilet plunger and plunge it, but you can't plunge it too aggressively because the water will come. You're so up to the top.
Oh, so, yeah, it'll spill. It's like shaking a tall cup of coffee.
So I had to really, 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 really gently unplug it, and finally when it went, oh my God!
Ruby Tuesdays, they got one in Newport Richie.
It was a 3-pound. I weighed myself, and listen, Dan might know.
It's insane.
Poop doesn't really weigh that much. Like you take.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
It's heavy.
But I took a poop, and I went and specifically weighed myself before. It was a 3-pound poop.
I believe that.
Oh my God! There's a Ruby Tuesdays in Newport Richie.
Yes,
that might be my date night.
There you go.
Where at?
Ridge and Little.
Oh, that's not too far.
No.
Yeah.
So you want people to start giving you gift cards to Ruby Tuesday?
Oh, no. Sure. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
Salad bars aren't that expensive.
No.
Now, what's this?
3 pounds of poop, though. That's magical.
I felt like, and then I passed 2 kidney stones yesterday.
Wow.
Probably you want to start really cleaning yourself out. Drink 8 to 10 ounces of beet juice. That will get you clear.
I hate beet.
Yeah, beet suck.
But beet juice will clear you out with 8 ounces.
I do not. I don't know if I could.
Do you think you need a flagell colon reset, like your bacteria in your colon suck?
I think that's what I'm doing with this baking powder.
Okay. Well, flagell's probably better. But
what's a flagell?
It's just like when people have sort of an inflamed bowel and they've tried 400 different things. You put them on flagell for a week, it resets the bowel.
Does it make you poop?
Just makes everything back to normal.
Yeah, tell Trevor to give me some of that too.
Okay. A week of that.
Flagell.
Okay.
Do I need to? Can you tell me how many milligrams per milligram per kilogram per kilogram?
It's 500 twice a day for a week. She'll know.
Okay.
She'll call me.
Okay. I mean, what are we
Maybe
getting?
for you, we should do like 1,000 twice a day for a week. But no, just 500 twice a day is all you need for your call.
And then what's that do? Reset you?
Yeah.
Do you do it every once in a while?
I have, and whenever, like someone has these problems, I do it. And interestingly, my dog breeder with the Belgian, she said that anytime he has diarrhea, give him a little Flagyl for a day or two, and it'll clear it up. So it definitely, it's been used for years for that.
Flagyl.
Flagyl.
Now, I tell you, I might want to get on ivermectin.
And then if you want to do a week of ivermectin once a year, I have no problem doing that.
Can I tell you why? I was reading something where they say they just did a blind placebo, full-blown, like 2,000 person survey about cancer. And they said ivermectin, whatever. I think I said it correctly. Ivermectin. Is that correct? Ivermectin decreased people in getting cancer by 34%.
I believe it. Because a lot of cancers have a parasitic-like behavior, and ivermectin and mebendazole have been now recently studied more and more as a therapy for cancer.
So I was reading this, and it was like, it wasn't anything to do with COVID or anything like that. It was just like the wonder drug that the title was The Wonder Drug That Was Invented in the 50s Continues to Amaze Scientists.
Yep.
And it was all about the scientists that had a theory that ivermectin can help reduce cancer symptoms or even getting cancer. And they put 35% on it. So I'm thinking.
I've seen a study where 65% of the people with tumor that took ivermectin, it either shrank or didn't grow.
Now, would ivermectin be something that you would be on all the time, or that you would just take like, semi or, quarterly or something like that?
If you're treating a cancer, you take it continuously for 30 to 40 days.
But what if you don't have cancer?
Then it's probably something that once or twice a year, you just do like a 5-day cleanse.
Now, would you do that in conjunction with Flagyl, or would that just
They're independent.
So do a Flagyl deal now, and maybe like in August, do an ivermectin deal.
Sure.
Something like that. Mm-hmm. When you're doing your ivermectin week, what is it? Just, how many, like, I know it's
like 30 milligrams a day for 5 days, 7 days.
And that's just kind of reset your parasitic. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people don't realize how many parasites you have in your body.
We have parasites every day. Yes. Everyone's got something.
I saw something on TikTok, Lummy. They said take an apple and put it in a thing of water so it's completely covered.
Okay.
And let it sit there for like 5 minutes, and all these worms will come out of the apple.
What?
Get the hell out.
No.
Oh, man, you just ruined apples for me.
Will you Google that?
So you put an apple into water?
It's regular water?
I don't know if it was
salt water.
I don't know if it was
warm,
like
cold.
If it was baking soda water or something. But it said, like 90% of the apples we eat are heavily treated with pesticides, waxed, shined, and there's parasites in those apples. And unless you do this particular trick. Now, I could have got bamboozled. Will you look for it for me?
All right.
He probably shouldn't have said that.
That kind of frank dialogue troubles me.
More of the Bubba the Love Sponge Show after this.
How do you digest some of the worms?
Apples, putting an apple in the water will not cause worms to come out.
Okay.
Worms that I've seen in apples are actually the larva insects.
What? Say it again?
Just so they won't come out because there's like apple maggot flies and their larvae.
So does it happen or no?
No, just by putting it in water, it doesn't make it come out.
Well, can you put water in anything?
The apple bruised or damaged.
Hey, have you guys seen the apples in my worm bin? The baby love them. Matter of fact, some people tell me that the baby's in the cocoon when there's apples in there.
You and me.
Okay.
And Jay's ready for when we get back.
Okay, cool. You got our address, right?
Hey, have you guys seen the apples in my worm bin? The babies love them. Matter of fact, some people tell me that the babies in the cocoon, when there's apples in there, fight to get out of the cocoon because they smell the apple. Now look at this. Once the apples are there, look at all those babies just hiding underneath the apples. They love apples. And every one of them, same thing, babies under. Hey, have you guys seen the apples in my worm bin? The babies.
Oh, it's apple in a worm bin.
Yeah. Because the only way that you'll see anything is if the apple's decaying.
Okay.
Or you got to cut open the fruit.
I'm gonna have to take a quick piss. I think I got another kidney stone.
Oh no!
Come on.
Frequent urination, and you know how long have you known me when I can go a whole show without peeing.
This is the most I've ever seen you pee.
Right. That means there's another one.
Can't imagine.
Oh, thanks. I could not imagine. Got Mina. Is that the name Wiener Jewish too?
Wiener's Jewish.
Okay.
Both Wieners are Jewish.
You ever met a Wiener accountant?
A Wiener what?
Accountant?
A Wiener accountant.
Yeah.
You ever had a Wiener as an accountant?
Yeah.
No. Although my accountant has family in Israel.
Oh.
That's all I'm saying.
Hey.
Joseph Telsika, my only PayPal today. No, my bad. Johnny K, and Joseph T. Thank you, guys.
There's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. Trust me, I've been looking. We're back.
I think I got my man standing by.
Good morning.
Oh, you sound great. You sound warm. You sound motivated.
Feeling warm.
You sound mad, sad, mad, glad.
Well rested.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm great.
I'm great. Sorry again for the way yesterday, the snafu in the beginning.
Stop.
Boy, it was
You just
fun
need to stop
there.
with the nonsense.
4 hours was good with you.
It was. Is Dan in here?
Yes, he is.
I'm in here.
Hey, Dan, so listen, I don't want you mad at me or nothing because always a competition between you and Jay. And so I grabbed Jay. He was walking out on last week, but you had already gone. And then yesterday you weren't here because you were doing hair transplant Willie. And so Jay was in here for 4. And it was a nice change of pace because it's a different feel with Jay than you. And then so I was walking him out last Tuesday. And when's the last time you put your hands on your brother?
Physically?
Yes.
I think it was in Jersey when Jay got mad when I yelled at Trey for slamming the screen door on Danny's hand and laughing at him.
So, but hold on. So it's been that long since you
10 years plus.
No,
I don't think he means like putting hands on me like physically. I think he means like when you've touched me, my core strength.
I don't know. Last few days.
Like when you put your hand on his shoulder or put your hand on his arm, or have you noticed how jacked he is?
He hasn't changed that much.
Oh, no. He's changed.
He's not putting them over.
Dan, he has changed.
Really? I don't touch him like that often.
Well, I don't. Stop trying to fag me out, okay?
I'm not fagging you out. I'm just saying. I just I don't squeeze his shoulders and stuff.
You should, because it's going to make you even more motivated to get even in better shape, even though you look good with your slimming T-shirt. Because man, so he then in standard Diaco type fashion, the only one that won't do this is Steven, but he then lifted his shirt up and popped out a six-pack ab, showed Macho Man. Macho Man was like, whoa.
Oh, Steve would do that nowadays. He did it at
Steve
your
will
birthday.
always do that.
Yeah, Steve did it at your birthday.
Yeah, that's right. Steve would do it. The Diacos like to raise that shirt and pop their abs. And Jay usually is the one that doesn't do it the most. But, man, he was quick to grab that shirt, jack it up, show his abs. And, Dan, he might have better abs than you right now.
Doubt it.
No. Can you show yours on camera?
Well, of course he is. His shirt's off.
Can you show?
His is already off, Bubba, before the show starts.
Hold on. So I take a while for the camera to catch up. I've seen Jay's and I've seen yours.
Yeah, and I've seen Jesus.
Can you do it one more time because I missed it and I just reset
Yes,
it.
And let's hear
just do it
again.
one more
Please
time.
make us
Just
all
one more
jealous.
time. Now, Dan, you're probably 15 pounds heavier than him.
No, we're same
about the
weight
same
now.
weight.
And Dan, you look amazing. Oh,
hold on now, Dan. It might be a tie.
He looks pretty good, right?
Ain't nobody beating that.
Doc Dan's saying you're wrong, buddy.
Well, Dan's also single, and, that's a motivating factor. I mean, how much more...
Mine's so that I can surf long distances, and Danny's so that he can, go long distances. Different purpose for the abs and core.
Yours is so that you can do like a 30-second tunnel, and his is so that he can do like a 4-hour marathon.
Dr. Dan, the women in chat want to know if you can just do the show standing up with your shirt off from the rest of the time.
I will tell you this. Jay may not want to show his abs on camera. He may not. But, Dan, I got to tell you, he's pretty damn close to you.
Jay and I have very similar bodies, and it kind of depends on our activity level. And so Jay's been surfing a lot, hanging out with the cartel and busting through like minute-long lefts, and I've been working.
Yeah, you have been working, and not only have you been working, but you've been working too, man.
Working hard.
Yeah. Weekends work for you as well. You're putting in the cardio, are you not?
Everybody's working on the weekends. You know what I'm saying, Dan?
So anyway, I will tell you, Dan, if you put your hands on your brother in kind of an inspection type way, you will see.
Got some meat.
I bet you he's 10 pounds heavier in muscle than he's ever been.
You'd be proud, Dan. I was actually motivated to try to work out a little bit. My son's got me motivated, and I could actually put some weight back on. Like you told me a couple of years ago when I was really ill, eat, sleep, and work out. Turns out as I'm getting my sleep better now, Bubba, I have a dental piece that's helped with my sleep apnea tremendously. Instead of waking up 15 times an hour, with this mouthpiece, I wake up 3 times an hour.
Now,
that's a substantial improvement.
What people don't realize, and Dan will back it up as a doctor, that fundamentally one of the things you can do to be healthier is just to get regular sleep and good sleep, because that's when your body is the only time that it can really naturally repair itself, because it's shut down, and whatever it's fighting, it can start to fight on that. So, I mean, I fundamentally, even though I'm not as light as I would, as thin or light as I'd like to be on the scale, I get 7 to 9 hours, like sleep.
You get restorative sleep.
Sleep has become like a hobby for me, in the fact that like I will get no less than, I get at least 8, and in most instances 9 hours of sleep every night. It requires me to go to bed at 6:30, but I feel like it's kind of rejuvenated me a little bit. Now, I need to stay a little bit stricter on my diet, and when I get my weights moved over here, I'm going to start, trying to hit the weight pile a little bit better. But,
that sleep is amazing, Bubba. That's going to get you well into your 80s, because, I don't think I've seen an 8 for sleep in 30 years.
What does an 8 mean?
Hours.
8 hours.
Oh, okay.
Like 8 before mine. If I see a 6 now, for the first time in 20 years, I'm seeing a 6 now. I'm getting sleep in the 6. Now, it's not all restorative. I'm up about an hour a night, but it used to be 4.
Well, I was getting ready to say 6. I know when we were prepping for the MJ trial, there would be a day or two that you would go with no sleep.
Like 3 or 4 hours in the middle of the night, maybe.
And you sometimes would just sleep on the couch of the office when you're in the Bank of America, because you're like, by the time I go home and like I might just be here, take a 2-hour cat nap. I'm so entrenched into this trial that you would, more often than not, except for the weekends, spend your night at your office on your couch.
So, I mean, sometimes, but I was very close. And so, even though I had to unplug sometimes, I'd go home, I'd see my wife and my family. My office is about 1 stoplight away from downtown. And so I've certainly had trials where I was out of the city, in a different county. But as far as the Bubba case, I went home every single night, because even if it was just to see my wife and kiss her and recharge my batteries and see my children, there was an important part of trying to unplug, and it's virtually impossible, which is your point. It's a 24/7 thing. I think very few people, unless you're married to a lawyer or you're really good friends with a lawyer, you realize that the good ones are so passionate about it. They dream about it. They sleep about it. They live
especially
it, they
a lawyer that's not afraid to go to trial. Now, you get these lawyers that are Johnny Settleman, and they don't ever have to. There's a whole nother different mindset you have to be for a lawyer in order to be a trial-ready lawyer. Now, you can you can be Johnny Settle, mediation, depot guy, all you want. Anybody can do that. But, there's a reason why when you, as a plaintiff, go, or a defendant for that matter, and when you're going to trial, when all mediations have been exhausted, when the lawyers know, and that's why you, as a defendant or a plaintiff, usually have to pony up more money in order for because at this point your attorney has just been litigating the case or defending or with the case, but not necessarily for trial. When you're going to trial, you have to write another check, because it sends the whole firm pretty much on your case. It's all hands on deck. I know that, and I'm not. When I had Todd Foster on the federal level, and it was time to go to trial, I had to write a 6-figure check just to get trial ready. And I was like, Tom, what? We got to write another 100. Yeah, that's what he's now going to switch his entire firm onto your case. And that's the resources that he needs. And so people don't realize, man, having a lawyer is one thing. Having a lawyer that will go to trial is a different thing, because most lawyers aren't prepared to go to trial.
And what people don't realize is the reason we get contingency or a piece of the pie is because in the kind of cases I do, you don't get $100,000 up front.
No.
You don't get $50,000 up front. I'm putting everything up front. My biggest cases have been, $287,000 that I've put out in costs before I was able to get the case
in your
worked
larger
out.
cases, Jay, you might have $300 on the streets, but
for sure,
before you recoup $1.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when it's getting a little scary, doesn't it, bud?
It's just, it's calculated risk. It's like anything else, and if you live it and breathe it and love it, I still love what I'm doing. I was at the office until 6 something last night, studying until midnight, up thinking about things, and I love it. I still love it. I can't believe I'm doing something for so long and that I still have a passion, desire for it. I wish I could just surf.
Michael Rouget, Lummy, the Diaco brothers are the greatest. $100. Right. Michael Rouget.
Thank you.
Yeah, but Jay, you and I were talking a little bit last week, long term, and as you fold in Bella, maybe,
yep,
and Trey,
my son,
and Trey looks like he might go law. It's going to be super cool. Now, Dan, is there a chance for Nick or for Sophie to go law?
I don't think Sophia's going to do it, but Danny may.
That would be
I hope he does. I think he can.
That would be how cool of a legacy would that be? You got Steve's daughter, you got Jay's son, and you got Dan's son that could all continue. You wouldn't even have to change. You don't have to change the name of the firm. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
That would be so great. Lummy, LM close.
All right.
200 straight for Jay Diaco. Sorry, Dan.
Thank you, LM.
So. That would be, you guys got the building. You own the building. You're not renting.
Yep.
And you would just, will Bella be the first holding in? Is she the closest?
Yeah.
She's actually at Stetson now, isn't she?
She graduated. She takes the bar in a few weeks. And she already passed the patent bar, which is arguably harder than the regular bar.
LSAT?
No, the patent bar, specifically for patent law.
Oh, now, Jay, are you going to have a patent division within Diaco, or is she going to go maybe to Anton or something like that?
She's going to Carlton Fields at first.
Okay.
And, one day, I imagine when people work at places like that, you hope that you do something on your own one day. But she's already a patent agent, and now that she passed the bar, she's a patent lawyer already, a bar-certified patent lawyer before she's taken the Florida bar.
And people, that is such a special niche that people don't know. You don't know.
There's 300,000 in the nation, but
yeah. I got one of the great ones, Anton Hopin, and he did stuff for you guys.
He's a great guy.
He's one of the OGs here.
Keith Yeager, $100, Diaco.
But Jay, would it be not uncommon for you guys to maybe potentially open up a patent wing under her direction?
Exactly.
Sure.
So that's how you do it. Once you get somebody that's as good as her on it, you hire a couple of paralegals, and now you guys are doing patent stuff as well.
Right. And, she could do injury work because she's a STEM undergrad, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So she was a pre-med student. And so having that STEM degree is what even enables you, qualifies you to get this patent bar. Like, I couldn't get one. I didn't have a STEM undergrad. Danny did. But I didn't have that kind of an undergraduate degree. So the amount of lawyers that can get it, very little. The amount of lawyers that pursue it, even less. The amount of lawyers that are litigators and trial lawyers like Bella, the smallest percentage in the world. And so she is a superstar, and I'm so looking forward to her.
And the good thing about patent law, Jay, is that you're not dealing with, Johnny White trash who just got fender bender. You're dealing usually with affluent people that are trying to get a patent or trademark on some kind of great idea, or major companies defending their marks against people. You're dealing with people.
But Bubba, you also get guys like Gene Lasker that have solar-powered heater cooling.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But the quality of lawyers
cooler
is like up.
Well, and the
top
quality of clientele is different from the Johnny White trash you got in a fender bender. You got Johnny White trash who just invented the next big thing, along with your defense. A lot of people that are having their marks infringed upon, and they all got money. So
Gene Lasker has a persona, but Gene Lasker is also a very sophisticated businessman that very few people know that.
People don't realize Gene Lasker's a millionaire.
Knows exactly what he's doing, and I'd be, I've represented him before, and I'm honored to have been his lawyer. He's sophisticated.
Just like
client.
Kurt Morgan. You look at Kurt Morgan. Sure. Kurt Morgan's a multi-millionaire with multiple franchises within the Morgan Exterior deal. He started out with a skid loader and a backhoe cleaning up Hurricane Andrew mess for the municipality Homestead, and was able to turn that into what he's got now. I mean,
It's incredible.
Yeah, and Opie pretty much runs the show now. It's great. I actually have Lummy. I have Morgan Exteriors come out and quote me on maybe redoing my bathroom and building me a closet in there.
Nice.
And I'm only going to use them. Like, they're the best by far. And let me do it. Don't we have the Bubba portal?
Yes, we do.
Now, can we put that on all of our socials?
Yeah, it's
okay,
up there.
Fantastic. So, Lummy, you sent me a video. Dan actually brought this. This
It's a
was
wiener. It's a wiener guy. One of the wieners.
not the Anthony Wiener.
No, but it's a Scott
another
wiener.
wiener.
But is he related to Anthony Weiner?
No. Well,
No.
maybe back in the day, but not directly.
And is he a politician?
Yes, he is.
And what is
California.
What is he noted for? This
Pro LGBTQ rights in California.
So this
huge advocate for him, major proponent for him, a champion of LGBTQ rights.
And he also passed the first law in California banning ICE agents from wearing masks.
So this guy is right in the LGBTQ plus. Like, he's done more for them than probably any politician. He's
an exemplary Democratic politician, just the top of the top young Democratic politician that had so many people on the right cheering his name.
Scott, I think your legislation on trans issues and your legislation specifically protecting queers on the sex offender registry is fantastic. Like, I really applaud you for that.
And I would too. I mean, like, it sounds like Dan, the guy, saying, I appreciate you.
He decriminalized homosexual pedophilia.
Oh, no, then I completely misunderstood it.
Okay.
Meaning, I thought
Just going to get straight where this guy's position is.
I thought that he was on the side of, we have to hold these type of weirdos accountable. But he was
He's wanting to lessen the crime.
All right. So he's on the
for
side,
the rights of the transgender.
He's on the side that if you
LGBTQ.
are a transgender LGBT and you create a crime on a child, you should be found not guilty.
Sympathized.
So that completely changes my stance. I think this guy's a piece of shiz.
Okay.
And I think you deserve to be here for that. But I think your housing policy, and specifically your housing policy aligning with YIMBYs.
What's a gimpy?
Did he really say gimpy?
Yes, he said gimpy.
Just
I
make
don't
sure
even know that I've heard that term.
Hold on.
Your housing policy aligning with YIMBYs.
Can somebody tell me what a gimpy is?
I think it's a derogatory word for a Jew.
No, I think it's a derogatory word for maybe a homosexual.
I think it is.
I mean, you need to look it up. Johnny, look up over there.
It looks like NIMBYs. NIMBY.
Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, he's saying NIMBYs.
And what's a NIMBY?
That's what I'm looking up right now.
Specifically, your housing policy aligning with YIMBYs.
It sounds like GIMP.
Or YIMP.
That's
almost
what I'm
like a
looking
Y.
up, JMPY. Gimpy?
Yimp. It sounds like maybe YIMP peas. Let's listen to it again.
And specifically, your housing policy aligning with YIMBYs.
Yeah, maybe YIMP. Hard telling. We probably won't be able to find out what it is. Maybe in the context of what he's saying, we might be able to tell. Here we go.
And I think your policy, and I think your policy on the genocide in Gaza, and I think your policy on the genocide in Gaza is terrible. I think you do not belong.
Now, hold on. Now, why?
This started off so nice.
No, but here's the deal.
It never smiled, but now
Well, it started off nice until other people in the gathering figured out who he was. Now, why are they mad? It looked to me to be like this is a gathering of LGBTQ plus XYZ X. Like
it's a pride event,
right? A pride event.
Absolutely.
So it looks like that these people would, of all people, appreciate this guy.
So it is NIMBY. It's NIMBY. It's
not in my backyard.
Yeah, not in my backyard.
Not in my backyard.
Yes.
So meaning that you can. Stuff that you're voting on or however you feel is okay as long as it's not in your backyard.
Yes.
Right.
I
data centers,
I think I'm
prisons.
a NIMBY. I'm a NIMBY. I'm all for a bunch of, I hate on a bunch, I'm all cool on a certain amount of stuff, but if it was my backyard, I might not have the same feeling.
Well, I think if you buy a house near a corrections facility, then, it's right there, open and obvious.
Right.
I think if you live somewhere and all of a sudden they put some corrections facility or they put some homeless unit next to you or they put, there's a drug and recovery unit that's right next to one of the nicest condominiums on Bayshore. And every time I drive by, I see all the crackheads out front. I can't believe it. Recovering crackheads. I mean, nothing derogatory about it.
Well, crackheads, I mean, you can be derogatory to them, Jay. They really don't have a right. There's not a crackheads union.
Oh, they're trying. They're at least trying. Maybe court order.
Trying to find another hit. Well, crack.
You do not belong here, Scott, anymore.
I don't know. Let me if I can play much more of this because it.
I have a feeling that guy's just going to keep saying
the F word.
Yeah.
So here's what I don't understand, and I think this is what maybe Dan doesn't understand, and I think it's what maybe most people don't understand is this guy's rolling through a pride event, and that's chocked full of all different types of personalities: lesbian, bisexual, queer, pansexual, cis, transsexual, asexual. Anything,
spiritually
sexual, just whatever. And these people you would seem to be that this guy has supported legislation that really would be directed towards them more so than us.
This is a pride event, and he's done nothing but championed their cause for the last 8+ years.
So does that show you, Dan, just how unappreciative this body of people are? Like they're just a bunch of dicks?
It just shows you that this right-sided, this left-sided, super hyper-liberal, borderline socialist,
woke,
borderline communist, woke political party
woke and
just
weird.
Keeps adding stripes to their own flag.
To the point where they're just going to spin themselves out.
Because you can't take 100 people that identify as a Democrat, put them in a room, and have them agree on the entire platform. And then as soon as they disagree, this party that has beaten their chests because they want to, stand for the unspoken and they want tolerance. If you have anything that's contrary to all of the positions in their platform, they attack you because they are hypocritically intolerant.
It sucks because you've been wonderful. You've been wonderful for trans people, and you've been terrible. And you've been terrible. You've been terrible.
Can you imagine? You would think this would be a friendly audience.
So you've been wonderful for trans people, but you've been terrible. Well, terrible for whom? I mean, if I'm
Gaza.
Gaza. You do not belong here anymore, Scott.
Is he a Jewish gentleman?
Yep.
Okay, so that's what this is all about.
So he's not a Jew-hating Jew.
No.
And so that's the problem. If he's not a Jew-hating Jew, then the Democrats don't want him.
Why can't you be a Jewish man, believe in your faith, support your faith, but also support their efforts in being LGBTQ plus? Like, why do you have to involve my religion into my beliefs with regards to people's sexuality?
And he, by the way, he's an anti-NIMBY. He's a pro-YIMBY. Yes, in my backyard. He wants you to...
That's my fucking heart.
All right, well, I can't play much more of it, but it seems to me, I think Dan hit it right. These people are just absolutely impossible hypocrites.
There's no pleasing them.
You can't have it the best of both worlds, and that is a guy that supports all of what your nonsense is, but happens to be Jewish. Mark
my words, Bubba. Josh Shapiro, who should be the most viable Democratic candidate, the Pennsylvania governor, has no chance in 2028 because of this section of the way.
I agree.
What about What about Fetterman?
Fetterman is, bordering on an independent and is, just by supporting Israel, which he says every Democrat did until now, he's been ostracized, he's been alienated, he's been called a Trumpster.
But here's what I understand,
what
Jay.
he does.
Here's what I understand. Most of these people who hate Israel and believe in Palestine don't really have a dog in the fight. They're just some white dude that, feels one way or the other. They don't have any, they're not Jewish. They're not Palestinian. They don't know anybody that lives in the West Bank. They don't know anybody how can you hate any of that? How can you hate Jews? And how can you be pro-Palestinian if you really don't have a dog in the fight?
You shouldn't be. And, there's no nuance to their argument. It's either you're pro-Gaza or you're anti-us, and they just threaten and they attack. And, you know, you can have a nuanced position like, I support Israel, but I don't like Netanyahu. I think Netanyahu may have gone a little too hard to paint.
Kind of
I like
feel.
my Jewish brothers
That's
and
kind of how I
sisters.
feel. I like my Jewish brothers and sisters. I support Israel, but I feel that Bibi Netanyahu is not on the same page as our president and has caused a lot of this unrest in what we're trying to accomplish with Iraq.
And also, Jay, Shapiro's kind of taken a little bit of hit the past couple of days because he refused to participate in the 4th of July celebration.
Well, that's going to hurt him too. But I also just heard, you know,
Pennsylvania's
mark my words.
Well, now
anyone who's been
Fetterman
supported by
sponsored it.
AIPAC, anyone who's been supported by AIPAC, that is going to be somebody that the Democratic Socialists alienate from the party, trying to make this blanket assertion that if you accept money from AIPAC, that you somehow are tainted and you're pro-Israel and anti-Palestinian. And it's a shame because AIPAC has been giving to both parties for years. But
explain AIPAC, Jay, just so people know.
What is it then? The American, I forget it's Israel lobbying group, the biggest Israeli lobbying group in the United States. And politicians from both sides take money from AIPAC. And so there's a big complaint that anyone who takes money from AIPAC is tainted.
I support Israel. But I think Bibi Netanyahu has made some missteps and has caused us undue pain, if you will, in our negotiation with having some type of peaceful situation work out here in Epic Fury.
You're right, because he's doing the Lebanon thing. Why do we have to have a Lebanon ceasefire in order for our ceasefire to work?
Right.
Because Bibi Netanyahu went hard in Lebanon right now and had ground troops going in looking for Hezbollah. And that's great. That's noble. But don't do it at the same time. We're in the middle of trying to get peace in the Middle East and open up the Straits of Hormuz. You're going to go out there and just start doing that kind of stuff.
You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Brian, York, Pennsylvania. How you doing?
Hi, Brian, York, Pennsylvania. What's going on, buddy?
I had a question about your Get-A-Box product.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the fence about getting one, and I know there's 3 or 4 different kind of models, and wanted you to tell me.
I'd get the Mini because it takes up less space. You can literally zip tie it to the back of your TV and then put it in your HDMI 1, 2, or 3 situation, hook it up to your Wi-Fi, and it's about the size of maybe half of an iPhone. And it's very less bulky. It's a little bit more, but aesthetically is just way easy to hide. And other than that, I just can't recommend it high enough. It's an absolute life changer when it comes to a man and the things that men might want to watch on TV.
So buffering issues, it's pretty smooth.
The only buffering is when it fires up, and that's because it's completely updating the channels and any updates it may have.
Make sure you have decent Wi-Fi. You
have decent Wi-Fi, but I mean the buffering takes probably when it fires up, it buffers each time to reset and get local channels or get kind of the local programming. It might take 15 seconds, maybe 20. And then as you go into different sections, it'll update it as well, and that might be 15 seconds. But I just there's no amount of time for me to be able to tell you of just everything you can get. And I'm not even going to have you start rolling off. Does it get this? Does it get that? Because the answer is yeah, it gets it all.
Yeah, right. And it's pretty easy to navigate. Once you find something, put it in favorites.
Yeah, absolutely. You can, you get better with time, but in one setting of a couple hours navigating through some sports and some local channels and some movies, what have you, within 30, 40 minutes, you become pretty proficient on it.
All right, thank you.
All right, buddy, and you'll never pay another cable bill the rest of your life. I have to go to words when I return. We're going to break down this Caitlin Clark. What's the girl's
Sophie Cunningham?
Sophie Cunningham.
Who's my favorite player in the NBA? WNBA. She's awesome.
They are now creating an us versus them.
I don't like it.
And it's African American players that are absolutely trying to circle the wagons around white players.
But now, in all fairness to that narrative, and I agree with that narrative 80%, there have been white girls flagrantly fouling Caitlin Clark. It seems the whole league's against her, not just the black girls, but the whole league. Now, it seems to pile on the black girls, but I've seen white girls doing it too. So it's not just racial. It's a systematic mistake, problem, and cancer within the WNBA.
It's a systematic
That's interesting, Dan.
jealousy.
Yep.
They're jealous.
My solution is,
and they don't realize that the reason why the league minimum now is $300,000, meaning if you're the 12th man on the bench and you never ever get a play, you're going to make $300,000.
Is that 80?
That used to be 90.
Right.
It used to be $87,000, and now they got girls that are making $1.7 million that used to be 97, and that's all because of one person.
One person.
Caitlin Clark. Now, there's been others that have been into the league before. There's been others that have come in the last year or two that are equal in talent. But for some reason, America fell in love with this girl and pretty much made the WNBA a pop culture phenomenon.
You know what I would do?
Let them play?
No. I would do, if I was Caitlin Clark,
I'd go to Europe.
I'd be calling Europe or the Middle East and do like Liv, have another WNBA and a competing thing. And I think if she left the WNBA,
it's done,
and got her $3 million a year from some Israeli,
and
some
got her Sophie
Arabian team,
got her Sophie
European
Cunningham to follow.
Right, exactly. The ones that you really care about, the WNBA would collapse because now they have to pay all these players $300,000 a year. The TV ratings would plummet. No one's going to watch it. They'd lose all the contracts. It would be in shambles.
Before Caitlin Clark came down, they were playing their ball games in 3,000 to 5,000 seat facilities.
Yep.
Now they're playing their ball games where the NBA guys play. They used to travel commercial like on Breeze and Southwest. Now they all travel private. That's all the Caitlin Clark theory. And I equate it much to the Magic Johnson-Larry Bird theory. When Larry Bird and Magic Johnson came into the league, it was a white guy, a slow white guy that they thought sucked, and a really, really flashy black guy. Don't forget they played in the NCAA Finals, Michigan State versus Indiana State. And every player, Dr. J, James Worthy, everybody that came before or after Larry Bird and Magic Johnson realized that these two guys were now making the game so that they would televise it live. Did you know in Larry Bird and Magic Johnson's first couple of years, they still flew on TWA and Braniff and all that kind of deal, and they wouldn't even show the games live. They were tape delayed, and Magic Johnson and Larry Bird changed the NBA, and all the players that came before them didn't try to hurt them. They propped him up and be like, man, this is our golden goose. This is the guy that's making us more money. This is the guy that's getting us more exposure, white or black. And they didn't hard foul him. And they weren't a dick to him. And they were respectful and appreciative, and that's just a sign of the times on how kids and young men and women now have been raised to not appreciate anything and to be self-entitled, righteous little pricks.
You don't bite the hand that feeds you.
But today you do.
And Caitlin Clark has been feeding all the other players in the WNBA. They should all be standing in line on their knees,
kissing
her ring, thanking her, and begging her not to quit or do anything else. They should be throwing rose petals at her feet when she gets off the bus.
Well, and then you got
they had a poster of the last 25 or 30 years of the WNBA, and Caitlin Clark wasn't on it.
Nope.
Now I do understand this.
Sophie Cunningham was on it, and Sophie Cunningham says, "I don't even deserve to be on that."
No, she doesn't. But I do understand the reason that Caitlin Clark wasn't on the International Olympic team, because she had been on it for 2 years beforehand, and they played together.
Yeah, that's not right. We're not arguing that.
That one thing I can agree with, but everything else that's happened to her is shameful.
And now you got these coaches, the Mercury head coach, Nate Tibbetts, who the African American player that throated her, and got suspended for a game, he's now sticking up for her.
He has to. He's invested.
No, he didn't have to.
You can say, listen, man, what happened was a very tragic event. I'm sure my player didn't mean to do it. And I support my player, but, I understand where the league's coming from, and we need to fix this problem. But instead, he completely was like, this is ridiculous. No, Caitlin Clark isn't all that, so now what you got is all the African American players are rallying behind this girl that got suspended, and they're basically hanging Caitlin Clark out to dry.
Someone said it's heterosexual versus homosexual. That's why it's not racial. It's the gay girls versus the straight girls are fighting.
Really?
I think it's more of a
white
Do you
and
know
black
about
thing.
that, Bubba? Lovey? Did you hear about that?
I think it's more of a white and black.
I mean, there's a little bit of that, but it's more that I would have said that's like 10
it's a
years
white and
ago.
black.
Yeah.
We're going to get into that next.
Mission accomplished. Another segment filled. More of the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
But just a reminder, you're a little behind.
Yeah. I'm at 5 now. Yeah. I'm not much behind. I'll have 6 here in the next 20.
Okay. Foster. Thank you, Keith Yeager, and your 100. Oh, of course, by the way. Definitely milking it. It's a big lunger. there, Merchant? 3-pound peanut.
Let me. Where do we stand with Omni?
They were going to come on after the first with the, getting
locked in.
Yeah. Paper towel, Willie.
Oh, thank you for my new DeWalt gimmick.
Where's the side redneck? Paper towel, Willie.
I don't think I'm gonna put the horn blasters up.
No.
No, I'm gonna keep that compressor probably in my garage.
Well, but, I mean, if you like the little handheld one, it's working.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go with my hand. Hey, it's Bubba the Love Sponge. If you're looking for a Volkswagen or any quality used vehicle, it's Volkswagen of Wesley Chapel. You can get financing as low as 0% APR on new VWs and as low as 1.9 APR on certified pre-owned. Over 200 new VWs in stock. Over 200 used vehicles in stock. You're looking for a specific car or truck or something they don't have? They'll find it for you. Mention Bubba Army, get an additional $1,000 off new or used. No questions asked. Ask for my boy Rolo. For more information, go to VWofWC.com. Volkswagen of Wesley Chapel.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show, listener supported via PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. All at the Bubba Army now returns.
The Spitting Cobra via the Auto Enclave, which, as things start to slow down, man, I've got to make it out there. I've heard unbelievable things.
You have to come.
As
a car guy.
Badass.
Yeah, Macho Man doesn't chime in very much, and he's like, it's really, really badass. How many?
As a car guy, just the car stuff would get you excited, but then the quality of the build and the caliber of this unit and where it is in relationship to all the amenities in the Enclave, it's really a very special place.
You know, Jay, you really and maybe you're not going to, but the Jimmy Clevises, the Bubba Clems, the Jeff Gigantes, the Rob Elders, the Steven Diacos, your brother, the Pitties, you know, just the inner sanctity of our little the Fabrizis, the inner sanctity, you know, Brian Matronis, just your friends, Tom Bean, Mark Tate. You know, you just who I announced right there. Those are your boys, along with some people that I'm probably missing. You should do but maybe this isn't you, but it would be kind of cool if you did kind of a little open house out there, like a boys night.
I'm going to for us. The Motor Enclave. One of the people on the social committee asked me, you know, hey, next month we're going to do this thing, the garage crawl, and we want you to do it with your neighbor and the next guy. And the last garage crawl was a nightmare for a guy here who's very private, and he opened up his garages to thought was going to be the members, and it turned out to be a shit show.
Well, not only that, but you're going to get people. You're going to get
unit.
people in there taking pictures of your stuff. Yep. You're going to get people in there trying to make it a social media kind of deal for their for gain. Whereas, you know, me, Fabrizi, Pitty, Jimmy Cleve, we're not going to have our phones. If we do have our phones,
I don't care if you do.
But here's the deal: we're not going to post them and try to make a big deal. We're going to respect your privacy, much like when Jimmy used to have gatherings on Spartacus, or you guys would have gatherings on Vanquish. You know, like it was not a show-off deal, but it was a good time.
Well, the short answer is absolutely. That's why I built it.
When's your birthday? When's your birthday?
May 21st. I just had it, but Jeff's doing something for the Big Brother Association where Adam Carolla is coming to the Motor Enclave to do a comedy routine.
You should
and it's going to be a thing.
You should book him for the show.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have a party before and after for all of us, all his boys, because he asked his boys to come.
But I'm saying is, like, selfishly, because you're part of the show, you should say, hey, I'm a co-host on the Bubba. Adam absolutely knows who I am. Him and I are one of the OGs.
He could do it.
You could do it from there.
Podcast from here.
Yeah, you could say, listen, you can either do Bubba's studio at Bubba's studio, or and here's the thing, Adam's a studio nerd, so he'd want to come to the studios and carve out some time to actually be at the studio, or he could do it from your setup. You'd be like, hey, listen, I appear on Bubba's show either half the time in studio or other half from my enclave, and give Adam the option to do either, which kind of makes your enclave looks even more cooler. And
it is for sure.
I think
nobody
else
that
out
we could
there.
do that for you no matter what, Bubba, and I'm willing to do that for you. And I think that one day Mach can absolutely add cameras and microphones, and you could do a podcast from here downstairs with the great backdrop, and we could do some really interesting stuff. And I wouldn't offer that to anyone but you. I love you.
He has heard of you because he talked about you like a month ago.
Oh yeah, he know Adam. Absolutely.
He was talking about how
I've had Adam on the air, and if you've been doing what we've been doing as long as we've been doing it, then you listen. I'm one of I'm one of the greats left. I really am. Mach, could you ever put the background that Tuttle had as Jay's background?
Yeah, he just used a green screen.
Yeah, that's what we need to do. I would really like that. So Jay, not what kind of cars, but like in your auto enclave right now, how many cars do you have?
I just have 2 race cars right now, Danny's race car and my race car. And so all of my other cars are spread around my garage loots and places.
But what's the capacity of your place that you're sitting at right now?
I have 2 single post lifts against one wall, so I can put 4 like collector cars in there, and then I could still get two across. So I could get 4, 5, 6, 7. I can probably get 8 plus my golf cart in there.
So you can put your 2 race cars on the ground, because those could be coming in and out accordingly, and then start stacking show cars.
Yep.
Cool. One of these days, maybe towards the holidays, we have a little Christmas party out there, just the boys. Like,
for sure.
And you know what? The rules are no girls. Like,
I
just
like that.
no, sorry, Kendall, sorry, Erica, sorry, Tanya, sorry, everybody else, but it's just.
Kendall happily bow out. She doesn't care about this place. She just let me build it.
Merch Crick would be like, oh man, I want to see Jay's cars. When in that case, I'd be like, you know what? We can go out there during the week one day if you want to look at a collection, but the party's going to be dudes only. That's it.
Well, you come out at the weekend, like, when Macho was here one time, there were cars running, and there's like a lot of really cool cars that come running. I'm just a guy here. There are people with the most exotic car collections, and they run them. It's pretty amazing.
Does my former neighbor Bruce, he got a place out there?
No, I'm shocked that he didn't.
But I heard, like, there's no more capacity. Like, they're sold out.
They're reselling them at this point. Yeah, the original sales are all sold out.
Yeah, so the original. So now if you're buying one, you're buying one from somebody that had one, and they're flipping it.
Yep.
And they're flipping it. So anyway, Jay, man, you sound great.
Thank you.
I look forward to even making it better with potentially that backdrop, and I look forward to having a party out there soon.
For sure.
For just the boys. It's really going to be a big thing whether you even get an invitation or not. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be super cool.
I think play poker or do something.
Yeah.
There's a chef here that works at the restaurant by the pool. Chef Spencer, and I've already talked to him about it. I said, would you come to my unit? And I've got a real cooktop and cook like surf and turf for my boys.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, absolutely. And I said, I'm kind of a private guy. So it's like, you coming around's cool. And, there's this other waiter there. And I'm like, you guys come around and just be me and my boys hanging out, playing poker or watching a race or a football game or something. And he's like, anytime. So I got the guy to do it, and the perfect facility.
This is the coach from the Mercury that the girl got suspended for throating Caitlin Clark, and I just don't think this is a good message.
No, not at all.
I'd like to address
he starts the process of us versus them. And now all the African American girls have rallied behind this girl, and they, like they're doing all these, social media. So we support this bitch and what have you. God forbid that somebody says, you know what, my player in the heat of battle, probably overreacted. I know she's a good player. She plays hard. She doesn't cheat. She doesn't cheap shot. I think this was way more of a situation, slow mode and isolated than the heat of the battle. But we'll accept the 1-game suspension, and I hope that we can all move on from this. It's not good for the league. And,
Bubba PR.
And still support his player. I support my player 100%. She's a great player. This was not intended to hurt her. It's in the heat of battle, super slow mode. It looked a lot worse than it did real time. That's why there wasn't a foul called. But I want this league to succeed. And I think part of this league succeeding is us all getting along. Boom.
AT situation. First off, the Mercury organization would like to let AT know that
AT is her name, or her initials.
She's 100% supported by us. The people in this league know who
The commissioner absolutely has let this get away from her, and she's replaced immediately. And you know what she needs replaced by? A very strong, business-minded, fair Cheryl Miller.
Interesting.
One of the greatest WNBA players of all time. She never made the money she deserved. She arguably is, the GOAT of the league, one of the greatest of all times, one of the founding fathers of the league. They built the WNBA on her back.
I actually know who she is.
She is the sister of Reggie Miller, former Pacer. She went to, I think, UCLA or USC. I forget, maybe Tennessee, but she was, I think, a national champion in college. She went on to have a unbelievable WNBA career. And did
she compete in the Olympics?
Yeah. She did.
She's a gold medalist, I think.
And she is an absolute. Nobody knows more about the sport. Nobody's played probably more minutes in the sport, and nobody was there on the early stages of this sport. She sees the new heights. It's hard telling what Cheryl Miller's largest contractual year was. I doubt it was any more than 80 or 90 grand ever. And she's now currently a color commentator. She does color commentary. She doesn't do play-by-play. She does the color commentary. She's brilliant at it, and she knows this sport. And you know what? She doesn't see color.
Well, I don't think you're thinking. I think you're thinking of Cheryl Swoops for the player, because Cheryl Miller was only a head coach for a couple years.
Maybe I'm talking about the girl that was doing commentary on this. I think maybe it's Cheryl Swoops,
because she's considered the best, one of the best of all time.
All right, so then if it's not Cheryl Miller, it's Cheryl Swoops.
But
and I don't know that name.
Cheryl Miller does commentary.
All right, well,
she just didn't play for the WNBA. She played at USC, but they didn't have a professional league.
Yeah, but I know that she's fair. Hey, you know what? I'll say this: Cheryl Swoops or Cheryl Miller,
either one.
Either one. They understand this sport. They're African American women who don't see color. They see the game. And they see how much the game has progressed and how healthy the game is. And they see that you're really, really screwing with a person that is attributed to the health and all new pay era of the league. And they would not tolerate this woman having done this to Caitlin Clark, and they would be far more aggressive in penalizing this girl. And what are you going to say when it's an African-American commissioner that's just being straight, uniformly fair across the board, and they see no color? They only judge incidences based on the incidents.
She's a competitor, she's a winner, and she's tough. The one thing she is not is cheap. I respect Steph White. I got to know her with USA Basketball. I respect her as a coach and a person, and I understand her sticking up for Caitlin in this situation. But to say that we had two cheap shots in that game to me.
But you did. You had two cheap shots. You did. But we don't have to harbor on them, and we don't have to use those two cheap shots to make an us versus them, white versus black.
Is ridiculous. Steph knows AT. She got the opportunity to coach AT for 2 years, and she knows what AT stands for and what she's about. Next, I'd like to hit on my disappointment with the suspension process by our league and our leaders in the W. This was not a thorough investigation, in my opinion. The people involved were not questioned at all. It's extremely disappointing. No one from the league called AT, our security team, or myself about what we felt like happened in this situation.
Now, I know this guy is the head coach of AT, and he's got to stick up for her. But I think that he can stick up for her and not be so polarizing and still get the same message out and have more of a message of unity more than separation, because that's where this ends up being.
So far, it's not stiff as I suspected it was going to be. It was kind of what you said originally. I
think it gets stiffer. I think.
To be followed. Just coming from the NBA, there's been many investigations that I've heard about that there was calls on both sides, and that was not done in this situation, and that's disappointing. I agree with everyone's stance. Let's continue to clean up our game. I'm part of the referee task force, the same that Steph White is, and Cheryl Reeve and Becky Hammond. The goal is to clean up our game, but I do think it's important not to rely on social media screenshots. This is a slippery slope, and let's watch the whole play, the whole game. We've got more people on our eyes. It's a great league. I hope that we can all agree that consistency is the main thing in how we call these games.
Well, yeah, it is, and they missed this call. They absolutely missed this call. If a call so egregious where a girl gets a one-game suspension based on what she did, but that call was never called a foul, let alone a flagrant foul, then the referees missed it. They missed it.
React to situations like this with consistency. Let's don't base it on generational talent, fan base, and ball.
And which, by the way, that's them taking a shot at Caitlin Clark because she's been labeled generational talent. And this guy's like, let's not base calls on generational talent. Well, you kind of got to. When your generational talent's being absolutely targeted for you to tic-tac, for you to for you to play her roughly and try to hurt her. They're trying to hurt Caitlin Clark. The opponents who do not agree with them, white or black, they're trying to hurt her. They are. Yeah. And I just don't understand how they can't, they should, like Dan said, they should be kissing the ring because of everything they got in the CBA, the new collective bargaining agreement, was at backs of her. Now, Angel Reese was also a very contributing factor, but she is absolutely the most jealous bitch ever. I mean, she absolutely is jealous of Caitlin Clark.
All-star level players or role players. Let's don't base it off veterans or young players or white players or black players or international players. If this is the standard, make this the standard. Even if the roles were reversed in this situation, make the storyline and the suspension the same. And let's just be consistent.
Jay, I think I have to agree with you. I don't think that his press conference was as bad as I initially thought. I think you're right on that.
He said almost exactly what you said. His tone was tempered, and I think that I have zero problem with what he just said.
I agree. Now that I've listened and not just read the transcript, I think he came across pretty well.
So do you?
I think he was sincere.
With Emmanuel, I think it's Cho from the former commentary from Fox Sports, says Caitlin Clark would be better out of the league.
Yeah, give me that. Okay?
I just sent it to you.
Oh, I'll play that next. I got a phone call as well, 813-902-8222. I opened up the phone lines, 813-90-BUBBA. We got about another 33 minutes, me, you, and JD Acco, the Spit Cobra, who gets to be the Spitting Cobra.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
The W at this junction in time would be better without Caitlin Clark because she is a bigger distraction than she is an additive. Caitlin Clark has gotten the WNBA over the necessary threshold they needed. Now people are walking. Now we realize, oh, there's talent in the W. Talent that's actually even greater than Caitlin Clark. And I'm not just talking about bigs like Asia. I'm talking about Olivia Miles.
Morning, Bubba. This one show.
Becker. So I'm talking about the Kelsey Mitchells. Caitlin's got the necessary eyes there. But now that the eyes are there, you don't necessarily need her. Caitlin did what only Caitlin could do, and we don't necessarily need her to do anymore. Thank you, Caitlin. We can take it from here. Now you're saying that the WNBA needs to be cognizant of where they put Caitlin Clark on posters. The WNBA and the officials need to alter the rules for Caitlin Clark. The WNBA and opposing players...
This guy's a dick, isn't he?
Yeah. Treat Caitlin Clark more gently. Caitlin Clark, the W... Oh, man.
Let's be realistic, okay? This is basketball, okay? This happens in basketball all the time. Angel Reese with a clothesline the other day. I mean, this is, these are not like, here's the ball. This is get out the way or I'm gonna move you. That's what the game is. So a lot of people, however, are reading this as confrontation. But this is not. They're not playing on the court. They're there to win. And just because they're women, get over yourselves. They're athletes.
They're athletes. I love that you say that, right? And what I love is that this is maybe the 5th time on this show or more that we're talking about the WNBA, guys. I mean, this is unbelievable, right? And
17 years since I've been
you've been here, and I've been on the board only since 2015, but 18. But I will say this: it is a contact sport, and it's not dainty play. Okay, when you're sitting there and you're watching, sometimes when that happens, you think, oh, wow, I couldn't take it. You've got a guard that's 6 foot, you've got a big that's 6'7", you've got Brittany Griner 7 feet. These are the women that are playing. They're exceptional athletes. And I want to talk about that Angel Reese because this, with what happened with Caitlin Clark, which was clearly a flagrant foul, and it got upgraded to a flagrant, which it should have. The week prior, Angel Reese got hammered. I mean, the foul was determined to be a flagrant too. And Thomas, her opponent, was automatically ejected.
Oh, that's perfect.
Fuck this bitches.
Appreciate it.
WNBA.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll let them know.
The Indiana Fever veteran
Yeah,
Sophie
no problem. I
Cunningham,
appreciate it.
who went viral over her finger wagging over this latest incident, is trashing the WNBA for allowing teammate Caitlin Clark to get targeted repeatedly. And then the league apparently, that's not here to weigh is about race.
It doesn't. It is not to be when she shoots a jump shot. But they are.
So now
came in the youth side. Laura, I was thinking, I'm over there.
Purital.
Crystal Harley is your official Harley-Davidson dealer for the Nature Coast. Crystal Harley-Davidson has the best selection of new and pre-owned motorcycles, as well as official HD merchandise and parts, live bands, food, and beer every weekend. Crystal Harley continues to recognize and support active duty military, first responders, and veterans. HD Hero customers receive an extra $500 Hero cash on select new motorcycles. Rates as low as 1.99% with zero down for qualified customers on select new Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Don't know how to ride? No problem. Learn to ride. Sign up today for the Crystal Harley-Davidson Rider Academy. You roll up in there, make sure you tell them Bubba Army, and receive a free helmet with motorcycle purchase. The website is unbelievable. Check the new and pre-owned inventory right there online at crystalharley.com. Always tell them Bubba Army.
Splintered memories looming up out of the time fog.
Somewhere between fiction and reality.
Madness. It made no sense at all.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
The Spittin' Cobra, JD Acco, via his auto enclave, is here for about, 30 more minutes.
Yeah, I got a green screen on the way for you.
Oh, nice. Fantastic. It's going to be so cool. People will not know that you're not here. Tuttle has a green screen, and Macho Man takes a picture, and all you see is the equipment and the rack and the LED lights and everything behind you, and it looks just like you're here. And then you can also green screen it, like if you were to do a lawyer type deal from out there. You could books or whatever. Macho Man has all types of different situations. Hello, you're on the air. Go ahead, quickly.
Hey, good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Good.
Hey, here's a quick comment on Caitlin Clark situation. People don't realize before that game, they played a back-to-back. So the game before that, there was a lot of ticky-tacky going on to that game. And Clark was talking lots of stuff because they were winning, and, everybody was, how you win, get all happy, whatnot. So it was expected something was going to boil over the next game. Plus the fact that DeWanna Bonner used to play for those guys last year, and she left mid-season for no reason to go back to Phoenix.
It sounds like a bunch of chatty bitches to me.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Men don't act that way.
Nope.
Well, can you imagine if Magic and Larry had social media back in 1980?
Well, first of all, hold on. First of all, well, hold on. Larry wouldn't even participate in it. Like Larry would be like, "Man, that's nonsense." True. Larry used to read the newspaper and he checks the box score as to how many points Magic had because they were on the West Coast. So Larry's game would be done. He'd get up in the next morning and check the box score as to what Magic had, and then that was his kind of motivation for, like, if Magic threw in 28 with 10 rebounds, Larry wanted to do 30, with 11 rebounds. And, and then so during the summertime, the 3 or 4 times I got to hang out with Larry in his West Baton French Lick, home, he would be down there shooting baskets. And he would shoot 500 shots. And then we'd be like, okay, like all we were doing, we're just grabbing the ball for him. Like we weren't, we'd shoot a couple, but it was me, Jeff, and Eddie, and we would just be the rebounders. And then he'd shoot 500. We'd count them. And then all it would take would be Eddie to be like, man, Larry, how many shots you think Magic took today? And Larry would be like, damn it, I got to get 200 more in. Just in fear that Magic shot 600. And he was like, he just worked. I mean, people don't even understand. Like in July or August, Larry Bird would be at his town in Indiana, at his compound, and he would shoot anywhere between 500 and 1,000 shots every day while he was on summer break.
And then go dig his mom's driveway.
And then then gravel his mom's driveway, which at the end of the day caused his back issues.
Yeah, but the point I was trying to make was, I understand, don't get me wrong, Caitlin Clark is a great player, But what people don't realize is that she's great at what she does. The problem a lot of people have with Caitlin Clark, as far as the fan base, who don't, is what she doesn't do. See, people are isolated. They're fascinated by the logo and the pass. But if you watch Caitlin Clark's game, the entire game, and pay attention like I do, she has a lot of stuff that really, how can I put it, she needs to work on.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you what she's really good at is she's really good at shooting. She's good at handling the ball. And what she's probably the best at, and maybe you'll agree, if you watch the same game that I do, she is an unbelievable passer. She can, she is, that's why she, always averages, 10 or 12 assists. So a lot, that's kind of a lost art with the modern day selfish ball player, a player that, so, maybe she's not good on defense. Maybe she turns the ball over too much and the weak part of her game. But one of the parts of her game that she doesn't get recognized for is how good of a passer she is. Would you agree to that?
Yeah, she's a great passer. She's a great passer. But what I'm trying to get at is, how can I put this? She's a great passer. If she worked on her mid-range game, if she got better on D, probably worked on her course range, got a little more bulked up. When Jordan got beat up, what did he do? He hit weights.
Well, she's in the third year of her of being a pro. I'm sure she's going to continue to refine her weakness. Her coach, Steph White's just not going to sit there and tell her all the good things that she's going to work on getting up. She's going to work on getting stronger. And you have to agree that she single-handedly brought the new enthusiasm to this particular league.
Yes, she has. But I will also say this. I give Angel Reese all the credit, because if Angel Reese would have just won her ring and been humble about it and not sitting around trying to get all this attention, waving her face in Clark's face at the time, and been so player-hating against Clark. If
Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark would have taken the already established template of Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, then the whole league would even be healthier. Had Angel endorsed Caitlin and Caitlin endorsed her, and they worked,
and they've been protagonists,
and they worked together, and they dapped each other up and supported each other. Magic was always like, man, Larry Bird, man, he's unbelievable. And Larry Bird was like, man.
They gave each other ultimate credit.
Right.
They never talked down on one another.
And Larry Bird was like, man, Magic's the best. And then when Jordan came into the league, Larry'd be like, man, I can't even really guard that dude.
Exactly.
No.
And that's the problem. If she was just been humble about winning her ring and left it at that, all this drama would not be a problem. One more pick, because I got to go real quick.
Well, hold on. Then the other thing is Angel Reese was such a problem that Chicago shipped her out.
Yeah.
She was such a problem, they shipped her to Atlanta.
Well, I think she wanted to leave, but I think another problem too is I think the reason the players are hating so much is because I've been watching WNBA since 1996. I've seen all the greats, and there's been great players who never got the attention they deserve. So you have to give these girls a little, how can I put it? A little, not sympathy, but someone comes in and just takes your spotlight, and you're just as good. And there's some players even better than Clark that don't get recognition.
I know, but listen.
One thing that she's really great at? Not bitching. You don't hear her bitching about any of this. She's not complaining about fouls. She's not complaining about racism. She's not complaining about anything. She's just like a soldier going out there and fighting.
It's the ecosystem around her that's complaining. But listen, where I have to let you go is this. There's only one player that's been around for 30 years. There's only been one player that was able to come in and get these girls paid. And that is solely on Caitlin Clark and the enthusiasm of how she went from selling out 5,400 seat arenas to where the Pacers play, and that's attributed on Caitlin Clark. So all these bitches that want to try to get their flowers now or later or rough her up or do whatever, last year those players making $87,000, and now they're making, you can be on the bench, the 12th man that never gets to see any type of action, and the league minimum's now now 300, and the highest paid player is nearly $2 million. That's Caitlin Clark. It's too bad that other players and her can't unify together, put race out of it, and do what's best for the league. Period.
True. Yep, you're right.
All right, man.
boss,
Appreciate it. Let me. This guy's from Fox.
He was. He started his own podcast, but he has a lot of takes that.
This guy is not pro Caitlin Clark at all. And I think that I agree with this guy, but not in the level of hate. I agree with this guy. Caitlin ought to give the WNBA the big toe in and go make $4 million a year in the Europe League and see how fat. Because you know what? This guy seems to think that the W will survive without Caitlin Clark. I think the W absolutely crumbles because I, as a 60-year-old male, will never watch another WNBA game if Caitlin Clark gets thrown out of the league or decides to go to Europe. I won't. And I know probably 10 of my friends, from Larry Plummer to my buddy Wags to Zumo to Shane Brown, that specifically will not watch the W if Caitlin's no longer involved.
The W at this junction in time would be without Caitlin Clark because she is a bigger distraction than she is an additive. Caitlin Clark has gotten the WNBA over the necessary threshold they needed. Now people are watching. Now we realize, there's talent.
Yeah, and now we're watching. But when she's not there, where you fail, my friend, is that we ain't watching.
Yep.
We're done. We're done.
And the W talent that's actually even greater than
It's like, Jay, you're an F1 guy. If Lewis Hamilton or Verstappen or whoever your favorite guy is decided to leave, you're not as enthusiastic about F1.
No, and Verstappen almost left this year because the car sucked. And if he'd left, I wouldn't be watching it.
Exactly.
Caitlin Clark, and I'm just talking about bigs like Asia. I'm talking about the Olivia Miles. I'm talking about the Paige Beckers. Hell, I'm talking about the Kelsey Mitchells. Caitlin got the necessary eyes there. But now that the eyes are there, we don't necessarily need her anymore. Caitlin did what only Caitlin could do, and we don't necessarily need her to do anymore.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you, Caitlin. We can take it from here.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
But see, Bubba, right there, that's the mentality that the WNBA players have.
That's what most of the African Americans think. Thanks for getting us a big deal. Thanks for letting us fly private.
Now we don't like you. Get
Thanks
out of here.
For taking my league minimum from a 90 to a 300. Thanks that the average player now makes 600. When the average player used to make 90, thanks, but we don't need you anymore. Now, if you were talking this way about a black player, if you were a white journalist and you were saying, hey, Angel Reese, we don't need you no more, you'd be a racist.
Yep.
You would be a racist.
Now you're saying that the WNBA needs to be cognizant of where they put Caitlin Clark on posters. The WNBA and the officials need to alter the rules.
When you're going to recognize the 30 greatest players in the WNBA and you don't put Caitlin Clark, who single-handedly got this new CBA, the collective bargaining agreement, we're going to be mindful as to where she's at.
Rules for Caitlin Clark. The WNBA and opposing players need to treat Caitlin Clark more gently. Caitlin Clark
doesn't need to get choked out when some girl throws her down on the ground.
Coach needs to be cognizant of how she talks to her in public because it's going to look like there's an issue. Unless we can take off our gloves for Caitlin Clark, stop trying to act like she's a messiah, the WNBA could.
This is the problem in itself. You never had an African-American sports journalist say these things about Larry Bird. Because they respected Larry. It was a different time, and we didn't keep score as to what your color was. And Larry was a class act, and his opposing nemesis, Magic Johnson, was equally as classy.
And would be better off without...
This is lack of management from the commissioner. This commissioner has lost control. That's why the inmates are running the asylum.
Caitlin Clark, at least without this version of everybody coddling and caressing and catering to Caitlin Clark.
I wish Caitlin Clark would leave.
Yeah.
And watch this. And you know what? Maybe we're wrong. Maybe the league succeeds. But if I was a bet man, I just know that my watching habits, I'm never watching another WNBA game again if Caitlin Clark, just like when I became NBA enthusiast and I now started paying attention to the Boston Celtics because prior to Larry Bird joining the Boston Celtics, I wasn't a big NBA guy. But I followed him all throughout his career, and I even followed him when he went on to be a coach and general manager for the Indiana Pacers. And I followed Magic and what he did. But I'm telling you right now, had Larry left the league 3 years into Larry's tenure of the NBA, I wouldn't have watched it. I mean, it's laid out right there. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson have already laid this template out as to what the WNBA should be doing. But that fundamentally has to involve having a conversation with your high-profile African-American girls to say, ladies, stop. We need this girl. You need this girl. But I don't think that anybody has that ability to say that. Because they're racist. Now, a white sports reporter couldn't be saying, Lummy, we don't need Angel Reese, and we don't need with the Becker's girl, who's the other high-profile African-American. We don't need Brittany Griner, and we don't need AT, and we don't need Angel Reese.
Racist. You're a racist.
You're a white guy saying that?
Yep.
You're racist.
You don't want black players.
Let me wrap this show up with the Spittin' Cobra next. Hold on.
Bubba, you're hot.
Bubba-isms are the best thing in the world, man.
It's fun. So much fun.
Bubba the Love Sponge. We love you, Bubba.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show returns after these words.
Hey, what's up, LH? Yeah, might better tomorrow because we got
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah. True. Yep. Oh yeah.
I bet you didn't know.
Yeah. I got you.
Lock it in and look it up. Lock it in and look it up, Lummy. Power Pig Alone Burning, Lummy.
Well, good to know. All right, man. I'll tell them. I appreciate it. Caitlin Clark needs to stand up for herself like Bird was. Bird was tough, and Caitlin Clark hasn't won anything yet. That's why they're hard on her. Morning Bubba Lesson Show. Yeah, the bald guy. Yeah, we got it pulled up here right now. The bald guy. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he's always on with. Yeah, I'm trying to think what. Yeah, he's always on with the one black guy. I can't think Yeah, I know you're talking. It's up on our screen. No, I know. I'm paying. He always appears on his show. But yeah, we have it up right here. As I pulled up. I appreciate it. All right, man. Thanks. All right, bye. Good morning, my last one show. Hey, what's up?
Joe Dirt. Love you, Joe Dirt.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. You want to send me an email and I'll also share his info. Lummy, Lummy, at BubbaArmyHQ.com. Yes, sir. Perfect. Thank you, bye. White iced tea's on one.
From Tampa, Florida, home of the big, fat, greasy bitch. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show. And now, here's your host, Bubba the Love Sponge.
Just a big goodbye is all we got, Lummy. I don't even have time for white iced tea. And I don't have the Fox News breakdown of the Caitlin Clark versus the WNBA either. We got to go. Jay's got something big today. I got something big today. I got a couple pieces of content. Got to call Jay privately to start syncing up our calendars and stuff. So we're good. Tomorrow, Lasker, right?
Yes, sir.
And I'm taping my one thing today.
Perfect.
My daily reactionary gimmick. I could probably do it right here from my chair. Could I not?
Yeah, that's kind of what we thought you were going to do.
Fantastic. Jay, I appreciate you, my friend.
Appreciate you.
And
Thank you.
I'll call you probably about 5 after. Is that good?
That's perfect. We'll work through the calendar over the next few weeks and we'll be good.
Perfect. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, buddy.
Talk soon. Lovey, we good?
Yes, sir.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. White iced tea. Give me a call. I think LM was on the phone today too. Was he not?
LH, yeah.
I mean LH was on the phone. Yep. White iced tea was on the phone. I'll open the phone lines up tomorrow, and then all you trolls. Let's make it a Troll Wednesday. So all you trolls that are keyboard tough guys that might want to call in and try to blindside me, tomorrow will be the day. 813-902-8222. We'll do that tomorrow. Everybody be safe. Have a good day. Appreciate you.
Thanks for letting me finish.
You've been listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, starring
me, Bubba the Love Sponge,
co-host and show historian Lummit.
It's Brian Matroni, king of counter program.
Gene Lasker, voice of the people. Glad you get near me.
Gary Cantrell, video editor.
Yeah, back here wiring up. It's Mini Macho.
To be an agent, Thomas Buttoned Up Bean.
Co-host Dr. Dan Diaco, Esquire of Council.
Co-host J. Diaco, Esquire, the Spitting Cobra of Council.
Now, time for the legal disclaimer.
Exactly.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of this show without express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
We must dissuade him of the delusions.
Until next time, always remember.
I'll repeat hello.